On this episode of the Star Wars Time Show, the two lead bozos talk about all of the new Star Wars collectibles coming out of Toy Fair 2020 and how much cash they've already dropped on pre-orders. They also discuss Luke's new yellow lightsaber before getting into a conversation on how pathetic the home release is for TROS. Speaking of pathetic, they also talk about how deleted scenes from that movie will probably only ever be fleshed out in comics or the novelization. Of course, they riff on the debut of the Clone Wars and their favorite parts, while also discussing some chatter from Filoni on Ahsoka's fate. They also talk about the J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens Star Wars project rumor, Darksaber duels in Mando S2, the curious Bob Iger news, and of course, the High Republic publishing announcement. Finally, these gas bags of never-ending nonsense wrap with the top 5 Star Wars fan artist features of the week, complete with mentions from their fans. Can someone shut me up and cue the music already? Okay. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Star Wars Time Show. Yes, I'm trying to be as annoying as possible with that intro, but if you listen to Stern, you know where the hey now comes from, right? Hey now. Hey now. Hey now. All right, my friends, well, as you heard, there is a shit ton of Star Wars stuff to talk about. And important stuff, not just the random tangents that my friend Nick and I have been going on these past few weeks as we've been meandering through the relatively light Star Wars news schedule, but thanks to New York Toy Fair and the Project Luminous reveal, we've got plenty of stuff to riff on this week. It's not like we ever need something to talk about. Nick and I can talk about anything Star Wars, be it how big is Darth Vader's penis, to should we kill all the Ewoks?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there is no topic that is untouchable for the Star Wars Time Show bros.
I can already see it. We're going to get some fan comments on this one. Be like, no, you guys really need to do a special edition on Darth Vader's penis now. Like, we want to know.
We are attracting other ding-dongs like ourselves, which is kind of what I want. I mean, that is the Star Wars Time community I envisioned, was other, degenerates almost, where you can function in society, but if people knew what was going on in your head, you would probably be locked up and put in a straitjacket, right? Those are my type of Star Wars fans.
Oh, yeah.
Not the assholes, just the ones that are a little odd out there, you know? Yeah. I think someone on YouTube was a big fan of me making a pitch to look at, a movie that was just about Vader's testicles or something. So that's good stuff, people. We love you. But I'll be talking about some of the Star Wars Time Show fan interactions during our Top 5 Star Wars Fan Artist Features of the Week segment. So we got plenty to get into before that. So stick around. Stick around. You're probably going to get at least 2 hours of free, that's right, free Star Wars entertainment. Maybe entertainment is a little too strong of a word for what we do, but you'll at least get 2+ hours of 2 Star Wars dopes talking about nonsense. So speaking of nonsense, Nick, New York Toy Fair went down last week.
Yes.
And naturally, I'm a collector. A lot of people listen to the show collect. I mean, that's why we kind of looped in the Instagram community because of the toy photography and collectors and just all that fun stuff. But Toy Fair is one of the bigger shows of the season to introduce new toys or see follow-ups on previous announcements. So New York Toy Fair 2020 did not disappoint for us Star Wars fans. I know my total pre-order bill coming out of the weekend was over $200. It's mostly for figures and whatnot. I know Nick was up there too. Yes,
so was mine. Yeah, my pre-order total was $250.
See, he beat me. We've turned Nick into a collector.
And I'll tell you what did it. There was one thing in particular on here, and if you've been listening to the Star Wars Time Show for a little bit, you may know the one item that pulled my eyes to it, and that is the Darth Revan Force FX Elite Blade.
There it is.
And what's really special about this blade for me is, one, of course, it's fucking Darth Revan, but two, the thing that really kind of kept me away from all the Force Effects sabers before this was you could never remove the blade. So, like,
yeah, I was going to say,
them,
it looks like you can pop the blade off on this one.
Yes, fully removable blade, full premium metal hilt. So you're not dealing with fucking plastic here.
Plastic, yeah, like painted plastic. So, hey, dude, is this Force Effects series essentially the old Master FX and what Hasbro bought it or something? Do you know any of those details?
I don't. So, like, I know that the Master Effects line was discontinued at a certain point. It was
right, because that's where all mine come from. Like you said, you can't take the blade out. The hilts are kind of plasticky in certain sections. I mean, hell, my darling little Star Wars loving kid knocked over my fucking Darth Maul bow.
Oh no.
And it literally broke. Like the fucking plastic just snapped on the hilt. So the one's completely trash at this point.
Yeah, so like the Force Effects line has always been kind of like I'm in like a custom saber group, and what most people use them for is like easy rebuilds. Like they buy the hilt because they are, they look like a real hilt, but they're not like made to scale for the most part. They're usually pretty chintzy, so you can like rip out all of the electronics in there and then actually use it for kind of a base for a decent lightsaber build. But in terms of like what happened to the Master Effects and where that went, I'm not 100% sure, but they definitely started to move a little bit more towards a more premium style build with the Force Effects.
Yeah, I mean, hell, the Master Effects, I believe, at the time cost almost $200. So with inflation, they probably now cost about $10,000.
Yeah, right.
So you probably, I mean, it's not a bad price. I mean, that's about what you're going to dole out at Galaxy's Edge for a custom.
Oh yes, I mean your custom costs you
He's
right
got
at $250.
It's a very interesting hilt, isn't it? Like if you look at it up close.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's very conducive to holding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got like those fucking edge lines that seem like they'd be right in the palm of your hand.
I know. That's what I'm really interested to see too, because when I get a new saber, I mean, at this point I have three. I have three like official sabers. I have the Kylo Ren Disney Park saber.
So do you go all out then and get like an acrylic box and mount them on the wall, or how do you display?
I definitely want to. That's going to be something that I want to do when I get into our house, is have like an official on-wall display for some of these, because I have a saber stand for the Kylo Ren Disney Parks. I have a saber stand for my custom build from Galaxy's Edge, and then my third saber is a custom one from Saber Forge. That's not really linked to any character or anything like that.
So you're thinking like displaying them vertically with the blades so you could pop on the lights if you wanted to, or more horizontally just the hilts?
I would probably stick with just the hilts for the initial kind of idea. But if
you thinking wall, or are you going to go nuts like us toy fuckers?
I don't know,
and
dude.
Spend like $100 on glass shelves that you have to line lights in it to look at it like
I know.
that.
That's the trick for me right now. Like I could definitely like build some on the wall shelves, like just kind of build shelving units on the wall themselves.
Oh, you can actually use hammers and shit like skillfully?
Yeah. I can do some stuff like that.
That's right. Your dad's like a fucking Superman handyman.
My dad is, yeah. Like he imparted some of those skills to me.
Okay,
and
so like, did you want to learn it as a little kid, or you just picked it up from him?
I think that was like the handyman factor just kind of came naturally. Like just seeing him do stuff around the house, like, and I'm not like nearly as handy as he is, but like for like pretty simple shit, like I can do it. Like I can do that.
You're way more advanced than me. I mean, this is probably going to date myself and could even get me in trouble in this day and age. But if you remember in Living Color,
yes,
I am Damon Wayne's
just
handyman.
Just completely. Right? I don't remember that from the show, but I know.
Well, look it up. Look up In Living Color. There used to be a character on there called Handy Man.
Okay, I have to look it up. But yeah, I mean, like
he's like a superhero special guy. But that's my handyman skills. I mean, all I can do is smash shit.
Yeah.
So I can use a hammer, not necessarily to hammer nails, but to smash shit.
But yeah, for me, like one of the biggest projects that I ever did with my dad, and like this wasn't just me and him, it was me, my dad, my brother, my uncle, my cousins, like we all essentially built the entire inside of a house together.
Oh, get the fuck out of
So
here.
like when we
Yeah, you're more than a handyman, you motherfucker. I mean,
So,
you're like
yeah.
a construction guy at this point. You're a carpenter.
Yeah, like we pulled all the electrical wire, we did all of the sheet rocking, we did all the cutting of the sheet, we did all the flooring, we did all of that shit. So,
Dude, I struggle to build IKEA stuff.
yeah, like that's
Literally, it's in a box. It's not even real wood. You essentially can just slap it all together, and I still just melt down. I mean, the last glass shelf I built almost got smashed because it was not going to plan in my head.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's I short circuit with this shit.
So
Like where you like gotta stick things in little holes. It's like,
yeah, it's frustrating from time to time, and especially those damn
hey.
Swedes, dude. Like they know how to make it a little bit more complicated than it should be.
You learn something new every day about your Star Wars time bros here. Who
Yeah.
knew that Nick was a carpenter? But yeah, so even Nick himself got caught up in the New York Toy Fair reveals, at least from Hasbro.
Couldn't help myself.
Some of the other stuff we got looks at, Nick. We've been talking about these, but we got the full, I think it's 10-figure wave of the ESB 40th anniversary card back figures.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie, I did not get all of these because a lot of these are reprints or characters that came in other sets. I mean, the AT-AT's a reissue, Ty's a reissue, Yoda's a reissue. Lando's a reissue with a slightly better face paint. Still going to pass on that. And Hoth Leia also a reissue. But the new ones here I definitely snagged, and that would be Hoth Luke. So he's got his, thicker cold weather Rebel pilot gear on with a nice little condom head. We got the Hoth Rebel soldier, which, Nick, this week we found out in that little case that he comes with.
I see it.
There is a backup face.
Oh, is that what's on the top right?
Hasbro literally has a different face shoved in that dude's little box.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which for, people in the collecting and toy photography, we were all like, holy shit, that is getting rad. He's still clocked in at $20 too. So this is Hasbro again, kind of encroaching on that figure art space. Still not quite that level of quality, but for $20, if we're going to start getting extra face sculpts and all the accessories this dude comes with, that is a bargain.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
So, snagged him, got Luke, got the new Bespin Luke, because he's got the better head on there, although I'm thinking now, I probably should have just taken my spare Yavin Celebration Luke head and popped it on my old-ass Bespin Luke, but hey, whatever. What's another $20 to Hasbro, my friends, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then we got Dagobah R2, which is a nice touch. So he's got some kind of built-in weathering on there.
Yeah, it looks good. I like that one. That's a really fun build for R2 here.
Yeah, so I didn't go with the full wave, which I'm proud of myself because, you talked to Matt 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they did this for A New Hope. I was like, I got to have them all. I got to have doubles so I can open them and then keep some and look at them in the package like I have my own Toys R Us here. And I've kind of gotten over all that shit these days, so just opted for the ones that were new or improved. So go me. Say a little restraint goes a long way.
Steps in the right
friends.
direction.
Because you know what I did? Just today we get news that this new Mezco Gomez is up for pre-order for $200. So I went ahead and dropped $200 on him.
Nice.
Instead of rebuying all these old Star Wars toys. We also got a better shot of the 6-inch IPD, and dude, I mean that is just a mean fucking looking droid.
Yeah, dude, that looks so good. I mean, how much does this cost? Is this like
I think this guy's going for 30 maybe.
Wow, man, $30 for something that looks this good. I mean, it's a glamour shot like you put in the post, but like this thing looks really detailed. Like it's pretty awesome.
I just, again, like we were talking a week or two ago when we got the leak shot from someone at a store. I was just unaware of how large these IPDs really are.
Yeah.
Compared to a humanoid.
Close in size to a human figure. Yeah.
So they probably really did need both Chewbacca and Han to take one out.
Yeah. I mean, you needed the distraction, and you could
Right.
see
Yeah.
like, and that one
since
even
Chewie was like, yo, just shoot at me, right?
Yeah, I mean, and even Leia said once they popped it, like, oh, it must have been set to self-destruct because it blew up so easily.
Right. They're like, there's no way your blaster bolts would just fucking torch the whole thing.
Yeah. So resilient.
So I'm glad to like get a glamour shot of him because he looks great. And I think some people already got a hold of him somehow. I believe his name's Todd Hoffner. I shared a shot of his this week on @StarWarsTimeShow on IG, #StarWarsTimeShow. And he looks great. So this next one, dude, this was a surprise. I don't know if it's a surprise to everyone but me, but we are getting a 1/12 scale snowspeeder with Dak Raltar figure.
With
Raltar.
Dak. Oh, man.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
you know why it's not with Luke. That's because they want you to buy Luke in a separate
Luke is
pack.
separately.
And then, exactly. So then you can have them both. And, of course, I bought both. But this was a surprise because we really do not get, at the 1/12 scale, a lot of vehicles these days. The last one I remember was a TIE Fighter from The Force Awakens. I think we got, like, Enfys Nest Swoop Bike from Solo. But that's really it. They don't really release 1/12 scale X-Wings and shit like that. So, I don't know. I was kind of pleased to see that they're willing to maybe offer more 1/12 scale vehicles.
Looks super nice, and I mean, having the Dak figure included with it kind of completes that little duo from the beginning.
You have to have them
Empire.
both, so you can reenact a scene. I mean, knowing Sir Dork or someone like that, I'm sure they'll drop gasoline into the cockpit and light Dak on fire.
I mean, that's how he died, so
right, to reenact him getting essentially melted to death. So that was kind of a surprise. I like that. And then the last one that kind of caught my eye, I'm not going to get because I can't afford to be mixed up in multiple scales of figures again. But the 3 3/4 inch Slave One set, the new Slave One, man, I mean, that is a damn good looking ship. The way they weathered it and detailed the outside. I like what they're doing with the vintage collection, Hasbro. I can't commit to buying it. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's gonna take. There'll be one figure that comes out. Maybe it's 2 years from now.
Don't do it. I mean, it's like you're tempting a crack addict with an 8-ball right now. Like, don't do it. I don't need it.
Not right now, though. Right now, you're gonna. I don't know how you're staying away from this. I mean, you're right. This Slave One looks so.
It's fucking money, dude. I mean, that is, to me, it's almost shelf worthy just to display it. If that's what that thing looks like out of the box, weathered like that and detailed on the back, it's like a fucking model kit.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's beautiful. So I mean, I commend you for not purchasing that, knowing that you are this crack addict of a toy collector.
They even give it that nice stand to prop it up so you can display it.
I know. It's
such a dumb looking fucking ship, but it's cool. I don't know why. Like, the mechanics of this ship make no fucking sense.
No. Like, I have a friend, my friend Phil, who listens, is an aerospace engineer. If he talked about Slave One to me, he'd be like, yeah, that would never work. Like, he would
just think, like, the way he loads the cargo in Empire and then goes vertical, like all the shit. Yeah, okay, I'm sure it's locked into place and stuff. It makes no sense.
Phil, if you're listening to this podcast, which I'm almost sure that you are, give me a little breakdown on Facebook.
Like, let's say he's got some motherfucking passengers. Where do they sit in the cargo? They just fucking strap themselves to the back wall or what?
I know. It's a little weird how this is set up for sure.
I don't know if Django built this ship or what, but it's pretty fucking stupid. All right, so moving on. That wasn't the only new toys we got. I mean, obviously, Toy Fair was a huge draw over the weekend. Our buddies over at X-Clue Magazine, they were on top of all this stuff. Really, that's where we got most of our content, so don't forget to check out xcluemagazine.com. But we also got some reveals for some new Mandalorian toys. Those of you that are into the Cosbaby line from Hot Toys, there is going to be multiple characters from the Mandalorian to collect. And honestly, if I didn't ruin myself on the chibi aesthetic with Funko Pops, these ones, Nick, especially Din and the child in Cosbaby form, it's man, these are some cute looking motherfuckers.
They are, dude. Like, this is something that I called out right when they, started to release the looks at the little chibi figures for the child, for Baby Yoda, and I was like, man, this is the style. Like, if I'm gonna buy any Baby Yoda merch, like, it's probably gonna be this little Cosbaby figure or some sort of chibi form of him, because it's just fucking cute as hell. Even little heavy Mando is cute.
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, the cutest one of them all was probably the fucking heavy.
I mean, it looks so good. Just this little chibi Mando, heavy Mando with his blue armor and his little chibi machine gun. Like, it's great.
I mean, Baby Yoda is almost a cheat for the Cosbaby line. It's like too easy to make a cute Baby Yoda. But the fact that literally the heavy just looks like the sweetest character in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, like, you would never hurt a fly.
No.
That little chain.
He would never yell at our buddy Din and basically call him a scumbag. There's no way. I mean, he looks like the most cuddly bear of all time.
Yeah, it's a fucking fantastic looking line here. If you guys want little desk mates or something like that, I feel like these would be perfect for it.
Yeah, totally. We didn't really get pricing. These things do get up there, especially if they're in like a 2-pack set. But it looks like they'll be dropping sometime later in 2020, Q2, Q3. I'd imagine pricing per figure, if that's how they're going to roll, would be at least $50 minimum. So
wow, okay.
They're not cheap. They're definitely a little higher end than a Funko Pop. Okay. Speaking of Funko Pops and Baby Yoda, I actually went in and canceled my Baby Yoda Funko Pop orders after this next topic
this
release, which is another Baby Yoda figure that is, in my opinion, a must-buy. So we got word of this again right before Toy Fair. I think this is another Hasbro offering. Yeah, it is. But Hasbro is now offering what I call an affordable animatronic Baby Yoda, or the child, whatever the fuck they want to try to gaslight us into thinking his name is. But this guy is only going to be $60. He's an animatronic, meaning he's kind of like the puppet in the show, except he doesn't cost $5 million. He costs $60. He's going to have 25 different sound and motion combinations, my friend. And we even threw a little video in there so you can kind of see what he does. But, I mean, the movements are pretty spot on. So as I was saying earlier, I went in and I'm like, you know what? I've now got the Sideshow 1-to-1 scale motherfucker. I'm probably going to buy the Hot Toys 1/6 scale once that gets dropped. I've got all the plushies ordered, the other ones ordered, this ordered, that ordered, the Black Series. I had to get this animatronic now, and I was like, you know what? Fuck the Funko Pop. I did it. I canceled that motherfucker. I was like, get out of my cart.
There you go. I mean,
Gone.
I think this is a good replacement for it. You know what this thing reminds me of? It's like a little Furby, right? Like, it reminds me of a Furby.
But not as creepy.
Yeah. Furbies were demonic little beings.
Or, my era, Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpins, yes.
Yeah. I remember my sister had like a knockoff dog. You like pinch its ears and be like, that feels so good. Shit's creepy as fuck. Like, I literally still have nightmares thinking about that thing.
Oof.
Or you'd hug it and be like, ooh, that feels so good. You're my buddy. You're my huggy. See? It should fuck me up. Man.
Oh,
so,
man.
That means I'm basically going to put this animatronic Yoda in my kid's room, and hopefully it'll fuck her up too.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, you better, make sure Charlie doesn't get a hold of this one, because I imagine, like I said before, with the 1-to-1 Baby Yoda, like, that is going to be Charlie's new best friend.
That's going to be my second child. And that one will stay with me. It's probably going to go to work with me, ride in the front seat for HOV lane, shit like that. But at this point, I think I have enough plushies and backup Baby Yodas that she'll be all right.
Yeah.
I'm at least 500 plus deep on Baby Yoda collectibles, and I don't have a single one in my fucking possession yet. That's the best part.
That is beautiful.
That is the best part. All right, man. So that kind of gets us through all the new toys and collectibles. As always, if you really want to get the in-depth knowledge on new toys, Star Wars toys, any type of toys, you got to check up our friends over at X-Clue Magazine or xcluemagazine.com. So hit those fools up, because that is their bread and butter. The toys, where our stuff is the Star Wars nonsense with toys mixed in.
Yes.
So, Nick and I, we are massive Star Wars comic book gurus at this point. We are geniuses. We have all the knowledge in Star Wars comic book lore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we've each read about 3 books, so
Right,
we're
so
there.
that means we're fucking experts.
Yeah.
We're experts already. But we got an interesting tease for the standard Star Wars line, the one that kind of, I don't want to say rebooted in 2020, but essentially kicked off a whole new era and storytelling. Everything now is taking place after Empire, so we're getting stories about what were the rebels doing in between getting fucked by the Empire in Empire and then fucking the Empire in their butt in Return of the Jedi, right? So we're getting some of these stories, but thanks to a cover tease of issue 6, which is I don't even think due out until May.
Yeah, no, we're on issue 2 now, so it's still a ways away.
Well, yeah, 3 comes out today if you're listening on release day, which you should be, you motherfucking scumbags. So if you're listening on Wednesday, Star Wars number 3 should be out, which means I'll be reading it and probably cooking up a video that no one is going to watch for Thursday. But anyways, like Nick said, this one's a tease for number 6, but we get a pretty nice addition to canon that ties all the way back to 1970 Star Wars and to The Rise of Skywalker, Nick, and that's a fact. That one Luke Skywalker had a yellow lightsaber.
Yeah, he had a blade in between the Skywalker family blade that he lost at the end of ESB and the blade that he built right before the beginning of ROTJ. Now, it is a yellow blade, so this ties directly into Rise of Skywalker, like Matt said, via Rey's new lightsaber. And I found this pretty interesting, and I don't know if I read this online somewhere or not, but basically this blade looks like it could be a former Jedi Guardian blade, Temple Guardian blade, because they wielded yellow lightsabers and the hilt actually looks very, very similar.
Yeah, I think you get to see them a little bit in Rebels, right, in action?
Yeah.
Doesn't Kanan tussle with them a bit?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so here's like I kind of teased that it also ties back to 77 Star Wars, and that's the fact. And someone reminded me of this on Instagram, and I fucked up by not writing down their name. I'm sorry, I suck. But the first ever Luke Skywalker in his pilot uniform figure came with a yellow-bladed lightsaber that shot out of his hand.
Oh, wow. Really?
Actually, no, it wasn't the pilot. It was straight up farm boy Luke had a yellow-bladed lightsaber.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if some people are like, oh, this dude, this could fucking Rey had a yellow one or whatever. I don't even sense the anger anymore. I think everyone's kind of like us at this point. We're like, well, Disney kind of fucked up that trilogy, ho hum, right?
Yeah.
It's not even worth getting angry about stuff anymore.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's in my opinion, it's far better than the prequels, so I am happy with it. But I mean, yellow lightsaber, yeah, you could say that they did it because of that. You're establishing a piece of film canon, but I feel like this has already been established, like you said. There's plenty of content out there that featured yellow-bladed lightsabers, whether it be through books or through video games or something else. It's not like the first time we've ever seen a yellow-bladed lightsaber.
Oh, hell, it looks like they even gave Bespin Luke a fucking yellow-bladed lightsaber. So back then, George or Kenner had a fucking hard-on for giving Luke a yellow lightsaber.
Just wanted to match his hair. They were like, oh, he's got, a yellow
That's pretty much exactly what it looks like, too. If you pull one of these guys up, I guess I should save one here. So since we're talking about so much, I'll throw it in the video version of the podcast. I do think YouTube dilutes our downloads per episode, but oh well.
It may.
Well, we're never gonna figure that shit out. Like, we will never truly know how many people listen to the show outside of what we see on our site.
Yeah,
that's it.
And like all those numbers come from are you people listening through the actual website,
which is crazy. Which means we're probably doing even better than a 400 average. But who the fuck knows?
Oh yeah. So
I mean, numbers have definitely gone down in February. So shame on all of you lazy assholes for fucking ditching us already after January. You guys suck. But they're still
really good.
Like mountains above what we were doing almost all of 2019.
Oh yeah, still really good numbers.
But you know what I mean, though. If you factor in the iTunes, the Spotify, the YouTube.
Oh yeah,
you could probably say we're doing at least 500 per episode now.
Oh yeah, I mean we have a pretty good listening group of fans now, and I appreciate that from all
So
of you
get some,
out there.
get some. Subscribe, rate, review. I saw the ratings go up on iTunes by a factor of 2, meaning +2.
So 2 more people. There we go.
Yeah, let's literally bump that up from 21 now to like 101. Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do that at least?
We have 80 people listening who haven't reviewed our
Instead
stuff
of Patreon shit, remember, just go rate. Takes 2 seconds. No real money involved. All right. So, anyways, Luke's got a yellow lightsaber. Fucking A. Here we go. Everyone can have their own color blades at this point in time.
Yeah.
Sticking with Skywalkers, I guess.
Yeah, sticking with Skywalkers, and then we'll get back to the comments in a second. I mean, we all know that the Rise of Skywalker home release is getting ready to come out via Blu-ray, via digital download, via VHS. Probably not VHS, but if you're like me, I already have Rise of Skywalker pre-ordered through Vudu, and now we're kind of learning about all the special edition features that will be coming with either your digital download or your physical purchase, and one of those things will not be deleted scenes. Yes. Is it really a big surprise that Disney decided to wax the deleted scenes from Rise of Skywalker, given the huge amount of controversy that came out over, 1, the length of the film, and 2, how much of it was cut, even as close to release date as like a month away?
Dude, I mean, it's a fucking travesty. Let's not sugarcoat this, because I think what this move signifies is, yeah, we don't give a fuck about the Skywalker saga anymore. We don't give a fuck about the full cut. We really don't care about you guys wanting to see all the footage cut. Eat our collective dicks. Bye-bye Skywalkers.
The only thing, and again, I don't hate that I do this, because this is my role on the podcast. The only thing that I will say is that they may be holding, I mean, like, there have been rumors out there, just speculation and bullshit out there that we may get an actual extended cut of the Rise of Skywalker.
No way. It's not going to happen.
But by holding back the deleted scenes, what they may be doing is saying, okay, here's your theatrical cut of TROS. JJ is also not, there will be no director's commentary from JJ on this. Not surprising. There's no deleted scenes, but that could be a hint that, hey, maybe 6 months down the line, maybe, a little bit down the line, we could get a full out 3-hour, 15-minute cut of TROS that includes all of those deleted scenes that would have come with the now, initial home release of TROS. That's just the Jedi version, Jedi Nick saying here.
I know. You have to do it. Or you'll start dipping over to the dark side, and then you'll end up on Octo with Luke having a fucking pity party.
You're right. I can't do
it. But it ain't going to happen, man. I mean, if they weren't even ready to put deleted scenes into the Mega Skywalker Saga 4K UHD super duper resolution box set, we're not getting them ever.
But that's the triple buy draw, because you're buying the 4K box set no matter what.
They didn't even do a double buy on The Last Jedi, probably because of fan backlash. The only double buy they've done so far in the new trilogy was TFA, because they did the first release and then the 3D super release like that following holiday season.
Yeah, but 3D died. Like, if 3D.
Yeah, but on that, I also believe they included the commentary and this.
Yeah,
and there was some extra shit.
They had
made
more
it worth
stuff.
Buying.
I'm telling, again, but it's just, to me, because you're gonna buy this home release. Maybe, I mean, it's gonna be on Disney Plus, so they're probably gonna see a significant drop in the number of purchases overall for any.
Oh yeah, I mean, my stunt guy buddy used to be mega Star Wars fan. He's like, I'll just fucking wait for Disney Plus for TROS. I'm not buying that shit.
Yeah,
and he liked the movie too. It's not like he hated, but I think like the rest of us, we're all just kind of defeated at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I already pre-ordered, so I'll have mine through Vudu.
Oh, I'll have to buy it. I mean, Lucas has me hooked to his fucking heroin ever since I'm a little kid. He doesn't even own it anymore. The dude still got me coming back chasing the dragon. So
we're gonna.
But I'm not buying physical. There's no fucking way. And all you people out there getting excited to go buy the 4K UHD box set, stop it. Stop it.
I don't know, dude. I think when
Physical media is dead.
I think when that thing hits, I think you're gonna get it. I think
No
you're
way.
gonna.
I can tell you right now, man. You can put those 2 fingers down, quit waving them, because I'm like Watto. The shit doesn't work. There's no way.
But
I haven't bought a physical disc of a film in at least 2+ years at this
I
point.
haven't either. The last physical disc that I bought was Rogue One. No, yeah, it was Rogue One. That was the last one.
Yeah, probably me too.
Yeah, because I got Solo digital, I got TLJ digital. I have TROS digital, but even with that, me saying all this stuff, like this is the triple buy opportunity. You give them the scale down.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and the Star Wars greed is strong with the license holder. I mean, anyone that holds that license, I'd imagine it's probably like a drug, because you know how much power you wield over consumers.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like...
So, yeah, I guarantee there's, like, this is essentially Nick at Disney right now. Like, let's fucking do 3 sales on these motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, look, there's a story coming up later about Disney's inner workings and, what may be coming in the future. But, like, if they know that they're like, okay, we have people, like, it may not be our doing, but people are now functioning under this idea of the JJ cut. It's out there. People know about it. A lot of people.
Okay, well, there's been a lot of people functioning under the Snyder cut for how many, 5+ years at this point almost?
Yeah, but DC sucks. Like, Warner Brothers and DC just suck. Like, and then the big difference with that is the Snyder cut exists, but it's a completely different, like, you're now taking what was the release of this kind of half Snyder, half Joss Whedon thing, and
it would essentially be if Colin came back and dropped the Colin cut.
Like, you would have to, like, you would essentially be saying, okay, we're releasing the Snyder cut, and it's now replacing,
like, all the Leia scenes. They just dub in footage from, like, Return of the Jedi, and it makes no sense.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, well, she's still there, and we're not using a digital version.
Yeah. So with the JJ cut, though, you're telling the same story. You're just giving it all of the context that it deserved in the theater.
Dude, you're not wrong on any points, and I would love to see it myself. It's not gonna happen.
I know, but I gotta hold out hope, because if I don't hold out hope, what is left? I am our last hope. I am the Luke Skywalker of the Star Wars time show. But but there are some good special features coming here. I mean, you have a feature-length documentary that goes through the making of The Rise of Skywalker. Some people will watch it and throw fucking knives at their TV as they're watching it. Other people won't watch it at all, and I'll watch it.
I'll watch it too, but I still contend that what Ryan did with his, like, that very personal, that was essentially,
like, his,
I believe, the story of him and Mark coming to terms with what he did to Luke. Yeah, like, that was but it also showed the making of the movie. I really, really appreciated that style of a documentary approach to that.
Yeah, that was really super interesting, and I enjoyed it as well. I mean, this one is probably going to be more focused on, like, the actual production of the movie and not really the filmmaker's journey. But I also don't know if there was a story to be told like that with this one. Like, because literally the story of that was, like, making your main, like, the former main character of the entirety of Star Wars come to grips with what you've done to him. Like, it really
was. I think that was the intention too.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, the underlying goal was to show us how they made the movie.
Yeah. And then,
yeah,
like,
all the other stuff's bullshit.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now.
The other stuff is
Persona Pursuit. Who cares? Aliens in the Desert. Stupid.
Yeah. The other one that might be interesting is Warwick. So, like, Warwick Davis, and then having his son there with him this time. Like,
yeah, I'd probably cry over that.
You would.
No doubt about that. So, I know I would. I mean, dude, I think we've watched Frozen 2 4 times now since we bought it on Vudu.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't know, it's Frozen to me as a parent, it's like the music gets me.
Yeah.
And the fact that my kid loves the shit and at least throws on an Elsa costume once a week. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm broken these days.
Yeah.
I probably get emotional at least once a day.
Wow.
in my old age now.
That's
being a dad and dude, being a dad just fucks you up.
Other parents out there listening, chime in on this as well, because I know that our buddy Greg, he's a papa, and my buddy Phil's a papa, and there's a lot of
fucks you up, man. In a good way. I'm not saying it's bad. I like that I actually have feelings, but I mean, I am a very emotionally retarded person in terms of like I just have never been good at showing emotions, accepting emotions, dealing with them. Yeah, it's just, like most men or boys that grew up in the 80s, your dad still was a boomer and he was raised by a hard ass, so you were taught to fucking suck it up, buttercup, that type of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, the older I've gotten and the more experiences, the more enlightened, and obviously becoming a dad, yeah, I mean, it almost feels good to embrace feeling a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I still only feel in the negative. I don't really experience too many positive emotions, but I can definitely let sadness and depression affect me now.
Well, at least you're.
I don't know if that's a good thing, but I listen to music like when I really want to feel. I'll throw on music that I know is just gonna wreck me because that's the state of mind I like to be in. It's just like fucking devastated.
Nice.
And reflecting about life and this, that, and the other thing.
Well, if that's what you like to do,
I'm a Sith, motherfucker. What do you want me to do? I mean,
if the music gets to you, then this digital exclusive, little extra that we get might get to you, because this is the Maestro's finale, as they call it.
If it's legit, I honestly think all these outside legacy, like the full on and the 15-minute Pasana, I think they're going to be like 2-3 minute, 5-minute jerk off things.
I don't know, dude. Like this one, this one, Maestro's finale, is John Williams reflects on his body of work for the entire Skywalker saga.
Okay, maybe they'll give John 8 minutes.
Yeah, like if anybody deserves I wouldn't say feature length, but if anybody deserves 45 minutes to talk about his contribution to Star Wars, it's John motherfucking Williams. Like John Williams.
Dude, it is a shame what special features on home releases have turned into. Because you know as well as I do, when the DVD format first dropped, like turn of the century.
You got so
I mean, people,
shit.
everyone, they're like, fuck, let's re-release this movie that's 20 years old and throw on a commentary. People will buy it again. But then, they would actually put good shit on there because that was a huge selling feature now. Like DVDs, all the extra space. It looks great. And you can get all these special features. It's like, yeah. But, I mean, to this day, the model of excellence in special features is Peter Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
in particular, his Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings trilogy box set. Like, I bought the Mega Deluxe extended
There's
edition.
There's
like
blah, blah, 16 hours.
Oh, yeah.
The behind the scenes is almost better than the film.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like you have 2 Blu-ray discs per movie, and you have special features on top of that. Like it's crazy.
Unbelievable, and it's all well done. It's all with purpose. It's not just some intern bullshit. Like, I mean, you can go back and watch these and probably learn how to make fucking movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a masterclass of behind
It's just you don't get that anymore. I mean, you do not get it. I was so glad that he did it again on The Hobbit. Now, The Hobbit's not nearly as good as LOTR, but it's not a pile of shit, at least production-wise. And the fact that even in this day and age, being on that type of budget and crunch, he still was willing to invest that time to capture the entire production. I love that.
I feel like that is, like, for Peter, like, that's his... He enjoys doing that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the second time around with The Hobbit, like, he had his own fucking series.
Yeah. Like,
where, it was like every day or, at least once a month, he would shoot a main part for special features.
Yeah.
So I really think all these are going to be bogus. The documentary should be pretty good, hopefully.
Yeah.
But I still think, dude, we're going to watch it with wondering minds, like how much did they cut from this?
Yeah.
What did they not want us to see?
I mean,
well, I see that. Why wasn't it in the movie?
Yeah, no, you're right. But for those of you who don't want to wonder and who want to know what's actually going to fucking happen in these deleted scenes, now's the time to move over to the fucking comics again, because
how about this?
All of
this
the
to me,
deleted
dude,
scenes.
is
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a fantastic segue.
Yeah, but all of the deleted scenes from TROS are going to be in the Marvel Comics Rise of Skywalker comic run. Like all of the deleted scenes, or not
and that,
all,
my
most.
friends, is the final kick in the nuts to the Skywalker saga and its fans.
Yeah, dude, it's.
I mean, are you kidding me?
I mean,
are you kidding me?
It is. It's unfortunate. It's really kind of.
And this is nothing against comics, because if you've listened to our past 2 or 3 shows, we are clearly fanboys of the comic medium now. It's mind-boggling. And we know these scenes were probably shot on film with real money, with the actors. It is mind-boggling that we just talk about how they're not going to give us deleted scenes on the fucking home release, probably ever, and we're not getting that fucking extended edition that Nick's talking about, ever. And now we're talking about how, oh, hey, and this was like their big selling feature, by the way, my friends. Like, hey, guess what? There's going to be scenes that weren't in the movies. It's like, well, double fuck you.
Yeah, it's not. So, first off, let me take
what
that.
the fuck?
It's not all deleted scenes. They will add in some deleted scenes.
Yeah, that's even better. Okay, thanks.
Some deleted scenes. And it's a 5-issue run, so it's not like, and it's going to cover the full events of TROS. So this is what Marvel's Rise of Skywalker is. And it is. It's a real kind of punch right in the balls.
You can almost guarantee the fucking Oracle's going to be in the first issue.
Oh, you know it, because the Oracle was such a visually like captivating piece.
Perfect for comic.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah. It's like there was no reason that you would ever not include that in the comics, because it gives good context into, one, how Kylo just found the Wayfinder on Mustafar, and 2, like, you know, how, like his search for this in general, because basically from what we could see in TROS, like the actual movie, like he just showed up on Mustafar and he knew it was there, but he was searching for this Wayfinder device for a while. And we might get a little bit
the whole scenario is, I mean, he knew it was on there somewhere, but he still needed this Oracle's help. They were just like, yeah, fuck it, cut it out for time. Fuck it, who cares? Who cares about exposition? We're just gonna cram 2 movies down their throats.
Yeah, man, it's. Look, I'm glad that we're getting something. Like, I'm glad that this comic, thread is releasing, and that we're gonna get to look at some of the things.
Well, yeah, for lazy people, it's gonna be better than reading the fucking novel.
Yeah. Like,
which will probably have even more of the deleted scenes.
The novel is something that I like we're gonna get to more kind of novel comic book talk a little later in the podcast. But like,
we better talk about that, because we're gonna need a plan, because my fat ass isn't gonna read these books.
But
you're gonna have to fucking take that.
I know it's gonna be I'm gonna actually have to do some fucking work. Like, but
I can't even like audio book them, dude. It's not gonna happen.
But yeah, I mean, I really do hope that the TROS novelization gives more context into what was in the deleted scenes, and that this comic thread gives us a good look at what we could have seen, represented on screen, at least in comic form. So
it'll look great if anything else.
Oh yeah, I mean that's for sure. The comic thread comes out in June, so we're still a few months out. So for those of you who haven't picked up comic books yet, even though we've been imploring you to do so with the Rise of Kylo Ren and the Star Wars 2020 run and the Vader run that Matt's been recapping as well, this may get you out there. I mean, I know that I have friends who are, a little bit disappointed in TROS. Maybe this comic thread can assuage those angers a little bit. So...
Hey, what app did you say I needed to download for Galaxy's Edge?
Just the Disney Parks app.
All right.
Yeah, Disney Parks app. And then when you get into Galaxy's Edge, it will automatically kind of put you in Star Wars mode.
Got you. I'm like Dr. Manhattan. My mind is operating at various timelines. Yeah. Not even lines, just periods in time.
Yeah.
Like I'm living in the past and thinking of the future while I'm here talking to Nick.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, man, I don't know. This shit just bums me out. I
hate to
sound like I'm shitting on the comics, because you know how much I love them.
Yeah.
I love the art and everything, and these probably will be great, but you still have to wonder what was the fucking hang up with maybe including some in the fucking movie.
Yeah. I can't argue with that. I can't argue with it.
Jesus.
But I'm just I'm happy it's coming. I'm happy it's coming out.
Well, we like being happy, and our next topic is quite a jubilant one, and that is the return of the Clone Wars. It's back. It is back with the Bad Batch. S7E1 dropped last Friday. I was up bright and early. I think I was up 6:50 to check this one out. And it was great, man. I mean, I think it was everything fans of the original Clone Wars first 6 seasons or whatever wanted, and hopefully were expecting. I liked the story. I liked the threads it was setting up. I liked that it just focused on the clones right from the outset to just kind of get us right back into that mindset, and not the big picture with the Jedi and Anakin and really the movie people, right?
Yes.
So it was just great. And you know how Nick and I treat these things. We don't really do a full-on recap and review. You can check that shit out on YouTube, and I implore you to, please, help a brother out, because, I don't know, I might give another week or two, but the recap and review vids may go away because I don't think they're quite worth the effort. But the Easter egg vids will continue, as well as Nick and I kind of talking about those. So I got 10 from this episode, and there probably could have been a lot more. I see some of these sites putting out like 40 Easter eggs, and as soon as I see that, you know what I immediately think to myself?
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Why?
Right? It's like you're fucking stupid, is what that is.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I try to make mine short and sweet. All my videos I try to keep quick because I guess I don't have a very long attention span for entertainment these days, especially when I'm online. I devolve. I get dumber when I get online, as do most humans. But I think there's 10 good ones in here, dude. So we'll kind of riff through some of these. The easy ones right off the bat, we see the 501 and Anakin's ETA-2, a ship near and dear to my heart because of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. Are you whipping the fucking Kenobi setup these days?
Dude, I am so far off from being able to get that I'm not. No.
Is that just because you guys aren't getting that currency?
I'm getting it, but I just had to So I'm just a little behind on the farm for it. So I'm working towards it.
It's a tricky motherfucker because you have to essentially have GK, which is General Kenobi,
yep,
and Anakin 7 relic.
Jesus,
have to be 7 relic. Well, at least they contend in my shard. And I know we're a little off topic, and if you don't play Galaxy of Heroes, you're probably like, what the fuck? But who gives a shit? This is Star Wars time.
Yeah, no, I have. I mean, they're both Gear 12. Anakin's almost relict, not so much Kenobi.
You gotta have Bosk.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
I mean, his ship is the best ship in the game.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
Most,
even
versatile ship in the game.
Yeah, even Houndstooth, even if it's 5-star, you can put in lineups. It's just so good.
Right, and then fucking shithead clone.
Oh yeah. There's regular
Rex,
clones. Yeah.
5s. Ahsoka.
5 ship
and Plo.
Plo is not I'm not even. That's not even in the.
Well, the only reason you need him, he's almost like a sacrifice. Because if you bring him off the bench, I mean, this is essentially this game. You fight with ships or you fight with people, right? And you have a team and ships. It's what, 5-on-5 at least.
It's the most you can have on the field at one time is 5, and then you can have a total lineup of 7 ships.
And there's synergies and shit if you're all Galactic Republic. I mean, dude, we could talk for days on this game. I've been playing it since 2015, I believe, every single day.
Yeah.
I honestly do not think I've missed a single login yet.
Dude, it's
cracky, man. It's good, though. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people bitch about it, and it's right. I mean, these days, they're pretty much, if you want to get the new legendaries, which are characters they offer for you to earn, but, I mean, you have to have mega squads now.
Yeah.
And if you're not paying, man, I mean, Nick and I are looking at least a year or more lag behind pay players.
Yeah, so just for those of you who play the game, if you've been tracking what you need for Galactic Legend Rey and Galactic Legend Kylo.
If you don't play the game, give it a try, seriously.
Oh, no, it's a fantastic game. But, like, you need, let's see, you need 13 characters each, all 7-star. You're gonna need
horrible characters, man, like Rose and Holdo,
dude. Like
I'm not like one of those people that hate them. It's just in the game they're useless characters.
Yeah,
useless characters.
They're completely pointless to own.
At this point, the devs are essentially looking at their database and their analytics and going, okay, which are the characters that most of our player base do not have unlocked or leveled up? Those are the motherfucking ones for legendaries.
Yeah.
That is what they're throwing ships into the mix that aren't even in the same era. I mean, you have to have fucking Karth's ship from KOTOR to play in the Holdo ship event.
Yeah,
from Age of Resistance.
It makes no sense. It makes
what the fuck?
The Radis. I am so far away from getting the Radis that I don't even know if I'll ever get it. Like,
I am I think legitimately a year more away, so you're at least 10.
Yeah, like I'm not even close. Like I'm still farming for like JKR, like Jedi Knight Rep. Like I am not even close.
Dude,
like,
you've been doing that for years, man. You're doing something wrong at this point. You have to get on a legit squad that like not like douchey where they're all serious, but I mean, mine is so perfect because they are dedicated, but they're not overly nuts.
Yeah, see, I'm in
but that
one of
drives,
those...
we get better reward. It's all about, rising the fleet.
Yeah, like now, like I'm in one of those now, but for like up until like 3 months ago, 2-3 months ago, I was in a pretty shit guild. Like, so this one that I'm in now, like I'm
just trying to teach you from my own hard lessons because I wasted the first 2 or 3 years doing what you did in an even worse guild. Probably it was mine. Mine was the worst. Like I was terrible.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, Lord.
We did nothing. Like we did absolutely nothing coordinated.
But yeah, I mean, like this one that I'm in has like a Discord and they have setups for all of this
game. It's the best.
All
right,
let's
ding dong, ding dong. Let's get the fucking train back on the tracks here. That was essentially like Matt and Nick just had their own personal conversation and forgot the mics were hot.
Yeah.
So anyways, back to the Clone Wars, the Bad Batch. We were kind of talking about the Easter eggs. All right, so one that I like when Rex popped out that photo of his homies, and we got the mentions of Heavy, Echo, and Fives.
Yeah, and throughout this episode, that's kind of one of the things that was always really cool for me is sticking with the old clones that we knew and that we loved, but also being introduced to Clone Force 99, which is another one of the Easter eggs.
They were great.
Yeah.
But I just the one thing that didn't strike me right away until I saw it, because I mean we knew they were going to be called 99 for a while. But when Rex heard it and he was like, "Oh, that's an appropriate term," because he knew they were defective, and it points back to, I believe, season 3, episode 1. It's one of the best episodes out there, and it's very early on in the chronological rewatch, which I've now started. But we learned of Clone 99, who essentially was a complete reject of the process. Like he's essentially like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he had physical limitations. He was like he almost like if you look at a picture of Clone 99, he does. He looks like an old man who has like
his test tube
palsy.
did not treat him well.
No, not at all. Yeah.
So, I mean, you could argue he's like probably one of the first ever specimens, and he just was not good. But they kept him around. He's a great character. He has a very touching arc. So when Rex tied that together for me, I was like, oh, that was pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah.
Kix and Jesse, all right, they're kind of important because timeline-wise, we now know that these episodes definitely don't jive with some of the stuff we've already seen.
Yeah.
Because some of these characters' fates are kind of revealed. And what I did not know, Nick, and I'm pretty sure this is true, but while I was researching some of these eggs, apparently a lot of these episodes were put on StarWars.com in a very rudimentary animated form.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
some of these stories are out in the canon section on Wikipedia.
And they're just actually turning them into like legitimate television episodes now.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
Because I found it odd that these entries were so up to date already.
Yeah.
But then I saw someone else, I don't know if it was on IG or whatever, but they're like, man, I really wish I didn't look at those fucking early versions of this shit because they're essentially exactly what was out there.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So anyways, I mean, definitely timeline is off again, which is weird, and something which is even weirder is I never knew the timeline was off the 2 times I've watched the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I know. It's not that apparent that the timeline
I'm a big
is
dummy,
off.
but when you do it, it is. Like, you literally, there are 2 episodes that take place before the fucking movie.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, it shows how Anakin essentially takes Christophas in the first place. Yeah. In terms of how he lands on it and begins the attack, and Obi-Wan shows up, this, that, and the other thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean...
So the chrono is going well. I'm glad I'm doing it. I'm trying to get the kid to sit through it. So far, she's a little bouncy, but that's just kind of the temperament these days, period.
All right.
And Greg and I went back and forth on this, and I still think I'm right, because in the end, the character that he was arguing is still based on the character I argued, and that's the fact that Hunter the Clone looks like motherfucking John Rambo.
Yeah, no, what is the argument here?
He's trying to tell me it's Charlie Sheen's character from, what was that?
Oh, from Hot Shots?
Yeah, Hot Shots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, that's because he's a spoof of fucking Rambo.
Yeah, he's a spoof of Rambo. So, yeah, I mean, look, y'all are both right, but you're more right because the character
obviously.
The character that Greg is referencing is built off of Rambo.
Right, like I got him on the one too.
Yeah,
it's like one of these. It's like it's behind the back drivel. Blah.
But yeah,
I feel bad for Greg. Apparently, he got broken into.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I don't want to give him too much of a hard time. It sounds like someone busted in and snagged his computer, PS4, and his little kid's iPad. So that's kind of shitty,
man. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Scumbags all over the world.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, I mean, Hunter is fucking Rambo. And you gotta love the variety in the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I know, it is. They give you, like, I mean, Tech is the techie. It's like you can see all of their different...
They play such to their type.
Yeah.
They're animated that way. Their powers are geared that way. I mean, Wrecker is just a fucking meathead.
I love it.
He is a meathead.
Yeah, he is played to be a meathead, and it's like that moment. I mean, like, that's one of my top moments. It was like when Cody is trapped under the troop transport, and like Wrecker's going over there to fucking get him, and then Rex. I mean, Rex is like, dude, you're not gonna be able to get him out of there by yourself. You're gonna need help. And then I think it was Hunter. Hunter says, like, he's not going to take Cody out of the transport. He's going to pick the transport up off of Cody, and he just lifts the whole motherfucker up.
Yeah, I mean, he's the Hulk.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
he almost looks like the Juggernaut, and that's how he acts.
Yeah.
I mean, his helmet's even shaped that way. So,
yeah, I love it, dude.
I do love the Bad Batch, but I have a feeling we're going to see all of them vanquished by the end of season 7. That's my prediction, at least.
You gotta imagine that, yeah.
Another one, good old Trade Federation landing ship, or these days a Separatist landing ship.
Yeah.
Admiral Trench is back, so again, timeline is a little squirrely, but he's got some of his cybernetics. So
I love Admiral Trench. He's just such a weird looking character. He looks like a spider.
He is a perfect bad guy. I mean, he's essentially like a tarantula?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like an arachnid spider guy. Yeah.
He looks like a bad guy, and also he has one of those tactical droids. We had the Count Dooku speeders.
Mm-hmm.
The droid troop transport again. Those are first seen at the Battle of Naboo against General Jaja. And then Wrecker is sporting the old clone commando gun. So some decent eggs for the first episode. mostly within its own little universe or hinting at the prequels. But
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, I was really a fan of this. Kind of like you mentioned in the beginning before. Like, we're not going to go into a full breakdown, but like one of my favorite things was that we weren't right out of the gate. Here's Ahsoka, here's Anakin, here's Obi. We're right back into it. Like, we focus on the characters that actually, built the entire kind of subplot to the Clone Wars, which was the clones. Like, it's these named clones that you attach yourself to. So seeing them again, seeing Cody, seeing Rex, having them mention and then get into later in the episode, is Echo still alive? Is he still out there? Because that was kind of the through line of this episode, is that somehow the droids know, not specifically all of the clones, is not all of their strategies or their tactical setups, but specifically they know the ones that Echo would know. So it's out there that like Echo may be alive.
Well, yeah, Rex and Echo used to essentially be the strategists.
Yeah. So
I mean, they knew each other. They knew what they were thinking. And at this point, the Seps are using Echo. I mean, they're essentially turned him into a cyborg.
Yeah,
it's almost like Picard when he got assimilated by the Borg.
Yeah, so like at the very end of the episode, you hear Echo's voice, and he's stating his clone trooper number. Like, right. So it was really cool.
That's why the Republic are kind of getting their asses kicked. I mean, even Rex himself is really nothing he can do anymore to get one up on the droids. They're just because his brother is leaking the same strategies. So.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool. Like when they were going to take that initial tower, how they used the Clone Force 99. Rex basically told him, he's like, I can't plan the attack on this because they'll know it's coming. So like you guys need to really,
Oh yeah, that's one of my highlights, or multiple highlights, was the Bad Batch.
Yeah.
I mean, I love these guys. I love how distinct their personalities are. I love how they're animated. I like their armor. They're just fantastic. So I love their arrival and how they all got introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Their first impressive attack, dude, when the gunship goes down.
Yes.
And literally a battalion of B1s and spider droids, all this shit, just coming down on them. Rex and the normal clones are like, hey, let's defend, and Hunter's like, no,
we don't
prefer
defend.
to take it to them, and they literally, the four of them take out the entire battalion.
Yeah, dude, it's just watching
like balls out. I mean, they just run straight at him behind Wrecker with the big ass shield wall, and here we go.
Yeah, and they're in. I love, what's the marksman's name? I can't remember.
Crosshair.
Yeah, because he's got the crosshair on his eye. Like, that dude's he's such a bad motherfucker, like, just with the long gun, but then when he gets up close, like, he can still fight.
Yeah, he's a dick. Like, he likes fucking with people. I mean, he's picking a fight with the other clones. I think it was with Jesse back at the camp.
Yeah, he's an asshole. I love that guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, they were fantastic. Another note I had down, I'm looking at now, I just had Wrecker in general. So I guess that means I'm just a big fan of that lug. I mean, he's a great, heavy, meathead type of character.
Yeah. Doesn't Tech use a knife? Because, like, when they were taking over the...
That was Hunter doing that
okay,
crazy knife shit.
Yeah.
And I think... Wrecker busted out his blade too.
Yeah, he pulled out because he called out that blade in particular. He was like, "Have you ever fought one?" It was like basically a scorpion. Right. He's like, the only way you can kill them is to cut off their tail, and he like showed this knife that he used to do it. It's like, like these motherfuckers are all crazy. I love it.
Yeah, it looked to me like Hunter almost exclusively uses his blade.
Yeah, I didn't see him shooting much.
I didn't either, but some of those battle scenes were pretty intense. But man, I mean, the show also looks great, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know like how much updating they did in terms of visuals, but it still has that like very distinctive Clone Wars visual.
I'll tell you what, even looking at the season 1 stuff or even season 3, there is a very vast improvement.
Yeah.
It's like it's probably even a little more crisp than what Rebels was doing, but Rebels to me was an improvement over Clone Wars, at least textures and overall quality of visual.
I mean, if you got to think too, like the run of that TV series started in what, 2005?
Eight. I think
Clone
8.
Wars. Okay.
Yeah.
So during that run, you essentially, and this is not going to seem like it's very, like, relevant, but you switched console generations, which means in that run of time, the visual effects fidelity increased to a point to where you had to make a new video game console to support it, but that's also going to be seen in animation like this. So like when anything like that happens, when you see great like increased visual fidelity and visual effects in video games, that translates directly, especially to Clone Wars style animation.
Well, yeah, I mean, shit. Look what they're doing on Mando these days. That all that technology, that huge screen, is fucking unreal.
Oh yeah, dude, it's
That's not literally.
crazy.
It's Unreal Engine.
It's fucking crazy, dude. I love it. So, but yeah, I mean, Clone Wars season 7 overall first episode, I really enjoyed it. I want to see where this kind of line goes with the Bad Batch, with the name troopers towards Echo.
We got a little tease today of what's coming up on Friday, and it looks like we are going to get a direct continuation, which usually doesn't happen in Clone Wars. I mean, there are a few arcs here and there. Do you think they're going to just let this story build and organically fold in, Ahsoka and Maul and Mandalore? Or do you think maybe after episode 2, they're just going to do what they usually do and maybe just, boop, we're going to jump to a whole new arena of the Clone Wars?
Yeah, I don't think that there is an easy, logical way to continue with that storyline that we're on now and then also fold in Ahsoka, because she's so removed from it. Like, the only way that you would be able to do that is if somehow they ended up on Mandalore, which I highly doubt that would happen.
Well, I mean, let's say this next episode, they ultimately at least find where Echo's at. Maybe they get some intel that requires them to go back to Coruscant.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe it could do that.
There's a path, but I don't know if they're going to do that, because that would essentially become now, at the end of the day, almost a 4-hour-long Clone Wars
animated movie. Yeah. I think it would be hard to pull that off, especially given the fact that we're probably going to be bouncing between Ahsoka and Maul thread, and then the actual like clones and Anakin GK thread.
Did you see, speaking of your buddy Maul, did you see the shit on Twitter with the hashtag emoji things?
I saw something.
There was
like
a
that.
secret one, and it's literally the Maul DeLorean.
I did not see that. So I saw that something was happening, but I didn't see what the actual hashtag emoji looked like.
Well, yeah, apparently they're saying, and I don't know if this ever showed up in other Clone Wars, but he takes over Mandalore. That's established. We all know that. He's leading essentially Death Watch at this point. And apparently those that stayed loyal to him fashioned horns onto their helmets.
I see. Okay, yeah.
So that's a Maul DeLorean.
I'm looking at, that's fucking cool. I'm looking at the hashtag now, and it does.
But there's even like art out there. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it showed up in the show or if we may see it, and that's why they're doing the hashtag, which I probably think is the case. So there's a good chance when they do revisit Maul on Mandalore, as he is now the ruler, we could see some of those Maul DeLorean helmets.
Yeah, that's cool. But there's a ton of Clone Wars new hashtags, actually. You have one, if you just do hashtag the Clone Wars, you get Ahsoka.
Yeah, I think all the characters are represented.
Yeah, Anakin Skywalker's got one, Ahsoka's got one, Obi's got one, Padme's got one, Rex, Maul, Mace, Bo-Katan has one, and Yoda. So throw out those hashtags and then get your little emoji on Twitter. Cute little emoji next to it. But yeah, dude, I'm into it. I'm really happy that this is back. We're getting 10 episodes?
I think 11. And the thing that's driving me nuts right now, especially because I am starting a chronological, is I already know these are out of order.
Yeah.
So can we get a fucking update, StarWars.com? I mean, at least just give us the episode titles. It's not, I mean, come on.
Something.
Or just the numbers, maybe.
Yeah.
Like S7E whatever. Because I really don't want to watch it again, and I'm so OCD it could cause me to want to do it again now. Like, okay, well now you got to get the full picture.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's why I'm saving my chronological run, because I can't do it in the middle. I can't do it right now.
Come on, man. I need some background shit to spend with the kids sometimes.
That's true.
I can't take Sophia the First fucking over and over and over.
Oh, man.
Although it is a decent show, I'm not going to lie.
It is. It's good. I mean,
Sophia the First.
Kind of sticking with the Clone Wars, you know, we heard some rumblings about Ahsoka and her fate, everything like that, around the time of TROS, because one thing that everybody caught in terms of the voices at the end of TROS was Ahsoka was there. Ashley Eckstein lended her voice to that scene where Rey was hearing all the Jedi voices, and people were like, oh, does this mean that fucking Ahsoka's dead? Because everybody else that's being heard by Rey is dead. And Filoni never really actually commented on it around the time of TROS, but he did kind of put out a tweet that kind of lent itself to you know, the fact that Ahsoka could still be alive. It was a little drawing of Gandalf, and it was a little drawing of Ahsoka, and they were talking to each other, and Gandalf said, everybody thought I was dead too, kind of referring to his fate at the end of you know,
oh yeah,
you know, when he fell and he was fighting the Balrog at the end of Fellowship, everybody thought he was dead, but then he comes back, Gandalf the White, boom, he's alive. So
well, he makes some good points though, if you really think about it, because I mean, Star Wars fans are always quick to jump on shit without really thinking.
Yeah, and I mean, look, throughout the entire history of Star Wars, like, Force users have been able to communicate with each other through the Force when they were alive as well. I mean, like, that wasn't something that was only exclusive to dead people.
Leia could do it without even being trained.
Yeah, Darth Vader did it with Luke Skywalker, even though they literally hated each other. Like, you know, this shit could happen. So she didn't really...
He's pretty much saying she doesn't have to be dead to have... used her voice in that scene, but he's also saying in the end what they did in TROS doesn't affect anything I'm currently doing.
Yeah, so he had a couple of quotes, and I'll read them to you. So kind of talking about just the general assumption that Star Wars fans had about Ahsoka after seeing TROS. He says, I have to wonder with Star Wars fans. They seem to watch the movies, but they don't take all the lessons.
See?
They deal a lot in absolutes, which is very much a Sith thing. Man, I love
Sith motherfuckers.
I fucking love Dave Filoni, dude. He is Star Wars personified. Like, he is the next George.
He is George Lucas Jr.
He is. He's the next George. He says, I remember in The Empire Strikes Back, Luke speaking out through the Force to Leia. Vader also does this at the end of Empire Strikes Back. There's no absoluteness that these people are dead. I mean, some of them were dead, but, you know. And then he goes on to say, you know, whether, you know, this has any sort of effect on what he's doing with the possibility of a Rebel sequel with Ahsoka or what's happening in Clone Wars. He says, it doesn't really have any big implications to what I'm doing with the character, to be honest. I just thought it was a really fun thing. I thought J.J. Abrams' instinct to be so inclusive with all of these various elements of Star Wars and characters was great. And I thought it would be a great thing for the actors involved to be a part of something that was just really this celebrating moment of the Star Wars saga. So I didn't think of it in a literal story way. The film to me is in a different area. It's like a different area. So he's basically saying she doesn't have to be dead. She could still very, very much be alive. And if we got, I mean, who knows if we did eventually, like, you know, did get that moment to where you see all, it would have been interesting though, right? If we did see all of the Force ghosts, because how would they have done that?
Well, yeah, it should have fucking happened. I mean, of course it would have been interesting. It should have happened.
Do you think that they filmed Ashley Eckstein, or do you think that they had an animated Ahsoka? Like, do you think that Ashley Eckstein, if they did film it, was in?
Well, I honestly think the voices were a compromise to him not getting the scene.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
so I think it was a complete pivot. I think they were only going to shoot Ewan, Hayden, Sam, and Yoda,
Yeah.
Frankie boy.
Yeah. And then probably they might have got Liam. Did you say Liam?
No, you're right.
They probably
they would have got him. Yeah.
Yeah. So it would have been cool though to see if
Although is he technically allowed?
why wouldn't he be?
Well, he did not learn the full.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right.
The full preparation.
Good
Although
call.
These days, it really. I mean,
Fucking who knows?
it's not like there's any rules with the Force these days.
Doesn't he? No, he doesn't
Because
appear.
everyone now is just going like, well, why the fuck didn't Anakin just heal his mom and Padme?
Yeah,
and they're
he's
right.
Right.
It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, but maybe he didn't. Clearly, he didn't know that. Like, he didn't know that power existed.
Yeah, Rey. I mean, she learned it from somewhere, but why the fuck show us in the movie?
Yeah. So, I mean, if that's the case, then nobody in Star Wars would ever motherfucking die. Like, because a Jedi could just come there, or a Force user could just come and be like, "Whoop, you're healed. You're okay."
Well, I guess. I mean, they did establish one rule, and if you do revive someone, you're toast.
From death, yes. If you bring somebody back to life, you sacrifice all of your life essence.
Exactly. So I guess it would have depended how far gone Shmi was in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, at that point,
how much juice would he have had to use?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I mean, Anakin was still, he wasn't even a Jedi Knight yet at that point. He was still a Padawan.
Yeah, he was a whiny bitch.
Yeah, like there was still a lot of...
He was a douchebag is what he was. I mean, outside of his one little outburst in Lars's shop, he was a kind of a fuck off.
Yeah, so... I mean, I get it. Yes, I get it. Once you establish that a Force healing exists, what can't you just go back and retcon everything to use Force heal?
Well, it's stupid.
Like
it's like
you can't
said,
make that. It's
when
illogical.
you get angry about the Duel of the Fates, it's the same shit. Like,
Yeah.
It's not real life, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it's a logical fallacy to just say like, oh, well, this character healed once and this character healed once. Why can't everybody do it? I mean, you can't just make that jump in any sort of storytelling, regardless of if it's Star Wars or not. But yeah, I mean, this was an interesting little piece on, from Filoni, basically saying Ahsoka is what he wants her to be, alive or dead.
That's his character. I mean, that is the one character that I guess still George's technically.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
but I think Dave had a lot of input and kind of championed Ahsoka on into Rebels and hopefully beyond.
The fact that she made it on, because it would have been very easy for him to say like, well, fuck it. I mean, if Ahsoka wasn't something that he felt was near and dear to him, he could have easily said like, well, we'll just nix her, and then Rebels will be focused on these new characters that I'm creating, that like are his.
She's not done. There's no way.
No.
I mean, you can't leave. It's not even her. Like you could have been happy with Ahsoka's ending, honestly, at the end of Rebels. I mean, she helped out. She was there at the end. She got to see them win.
I mean, like, if there's
but the Ezra and Thrawn stuff, that's too egregious to leave.
No, yeah, you
just
can't.
open ended. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I mean, if there is a perfect character, a perfect Star Wars character for now, for like today's era, it is Ahsoka Tano. Like, Ahsoka is, I mean, for all of you people out there who hate women, I can't help you, but like Ahsoka is a beautiful Star Wars character whose arc started at a very young age, and you've seen mature.
Well, she's even more than beautiful to me, and I'm talking about adult Ahsoka, like Fulcrum stuff.
Yeah,
she's sexy as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that her arc is one of the best told arcs in Star Wars storytelling history. Like, you get to see her essentially grow up from a literal, like, I think when she hooked up with Anakin, like when she became Anakin's Padawan, she was only like, what, 13? So, like, young.
I just watched it. I mean, she essentially gets ridiculed for how young she is and kind of fresh of a Padawan.
Yeah.
It is still funny that they decided to put her in like a fucking tube top mini skirt was her fucking outfit.
It's fucking weird. It was weird. Like
it is weird. Like, I didn't even think about it at the time, but you look at it now and you're like, yeah, they're like, portraying her as a very young kid and she's literally wearing like a nightclub outfit.
Yeah, it's weird. So in your rewatch, have you watched the movie yet?
Yeah,
The Clone Wars
it's
movie?
I believe it's the third thing you watch. It's the third or fourth thing you watch.
Okay. Now this isn't like you're not watching the 20 episodes. You're watching stem to stern the chronological.
Come on, man. It's posted on StarWars.com.
I know.
That's why I'm like, fucking update it, motherfuckers. Let's put season 7 in there.
Yeah, where does it fall? But I mean, I love Ahsoka. I hope that Rosario Dawson gets to play live action Ahsoka one day. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but it's possible now with Filoni in the live action land.
She would be a fun character for live action.
Oh, yeah,
and so would her former master, this guy Darth Vader. But what the fuck do we know?
Yeah, we don't know too much.
I mean, honestly, what do we know?
Yeah.
It's not like people would love even a scene of Darth Vader being Darth Vader. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I mean, even a non-Star Wars hater knew that, a.k.a. Tony Gilroy. But
yeah, that's right.
I mean,
exactly.
So, I mean,
the savior of Rogue One.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of wraps up our TROS news for today's bit. But don't worry, we will be back next week with all of your Easter eggs and information on episode 2. What's the episode 2 called? I don't remember now. I saw the clip, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, me neither. I tweeted it out there, but why? I mean, why would we be?
Why would we remember this kind of stuff? You guys should know this.
I have our Facebook page pulled up. Let me refresh that and
Yeah.
see if it has it on there. I mean, Facebook is such a nice site. It loads so quickly. A Distant Echo, I believe, is going to be the clip, and it looks like we're going to get some Anakin in this one.
Yeah, yep. So there we go. Episode 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're going after that signal on that other planet, so they're bringing the big guns out.
They're coming. Yeah, they're coming down. Having a Jedi Knight with you is definitely a big help. So
the real Anakin Skywalker.
Yes. What's his name? James Arnold Taylor. That's who voices Anakin. James Arnold Taylor voices Obi.
I think it's Matt Lanter.
He definitely does the voice of Vader. Shit. Anakin Skywalker Clone Wars voice. It is... Oh, come on. It is Matt Lanter, yes.
Booyah!
Zac Efron.
The only reason I know that is because he got a cameo in the Mandalorian. He was he was on the prison ship.
Yeah. I think we talked about that when it came up, like when it actually when that episode passed through. But Darth Vader, voiced by Hayden Christensen in Star Wars Rebels. Is that true? Interesting.
What the hell site are you on?
Google.
Yeah, but what Google?
I just Googled Anakin Skywalker Clone Wars voice.
Yeah, okay. So what site are you grabbing the info from then?
No, it's at the top. At the top of Google, it says Darth Vader / voiced by, and then it lists everybody. It says Zac Efron voiced Darth Vader in Robot Chicken. Matt Lanter was voicing Darth Vader in the Clone Wars and Rebel stuff, and then it says Hayden Christensen Star Wars Rebels.
Huh. Well, I guess that's one way to get a check when you're down on your luck, like our buddy Hayden.
Yeah, interesting. I did not know that, but
he did put out like some weird future post-apocalyptic thing, I think.
Recently, yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like another big name in there.
Let's see. Oh. Did he stop updating his IMDb?
Did he?
No, wait, never mind. It's
you can't pay the agent anymore.
The Last Man. It was Harvey Keitel.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Keitel. I mean, he's a pretty big actor.
Yeah, he is. I mean, nobody else on this list of characters, you wouldn't know him. But he also did that movie Little Italy. We talked about that before it came out. I mean, like, again, that was just kind of...
Poor bastard, man.
Emma Roberts. He did. I feel sorry.
I mean, George fucking destroyed his career.
It's sad. I mean, I don't know what else to say, but it is sad. I mean, he was a good actor.
I hate sand.
Yeah, that line
rough,
may have done it.
coarse,
The whole...
irritating. Gets everywhere.
Man, that was a tough one. But anyway,
I want to love to love you. Right? In their one exchange where they say love at least 8 times, it's like, I want to love, but to love is to love you.
It was probably that was
I love you.
That was definitely on Naboo in episode 2.
Yeah, when he's like butt fucking those goats, those fat ass like goat things.
Yeah.
And he's like, riding on top of them, doing God knows what.
I can't remember.
From that moment to the dinner, like the dinner is loaded with. Oh, I know. Here it is. It's, I wish I could wish it all away. It's
yeah.
like, fuck! Dude, just read that line out loud and be like, all right, maybe we should change it.
It's like, George, did you just type this with your eyes closed? Like, what?
I wish I could wish it all away. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Like, man. That, yeah.
Oh, jeez. What the hell? All right.
Let's move on to something.
We love you, Hayden. We love you, brother.
Let's move on to something a little bit more, relevant to Star Wars now, and that is the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I wish we could wish ourselves onto another topic.
Wish ourselves on the fucking season 2 of the Mando, because according to Giancarlo,
the only legit thing we know still exists in Star Wars, dude.
Right?
Have you seen all the shit going on with the Cassian thing?
No.
It's like, yeah, we're shooting maybe sometime. I don't know.
It's like, who knows?
I mean, it's basically at that point now.
God, dude. Well, I mean, again, teaser for what's coming up pretty soon. Disney's under a little bit of shaky ground right now, but for the time being, we know that season 2 of Mando is happening, and according to Giancarlo Esposito, a.k.a. Moff Gideon, there will be some lightsaber play. And it's not going to be just him. He will have a lightsaber combatant.
So you were picking that up too. I mean, you're assuming that he's either fighting someone that has a vibro blade of some sort, or some motherfucker that might have a connection to the Force.
Yeah, or has a lightsaber,
though,
just in period. Yeah,
you would think if he is fighting a Jedi, it still wouldn't be a fight unless our man Gideon already has some sort of connection to the Force.
Yeah. I mean,
so let's be real. Darksaber or not, if I'm a Jedi, I walk up to you right there and I break you in half.
Yeah, I don't even try to fight you blade to blade. I just force push your ass and I pull the Darksaber out of your hand. And you're done. Bye.
And then I'll hold you there in stasis and then fucking do an Anakin on you.
Yeah, and fucking chop your head off.
I would still cut your hands off though to do the full Anakin.
Just to do it, just to be like,
right.
Look,
as you're in stasis,
yeah,
like Zaga.
Just take both. It's a Star Wars rite of passage to get your hand chopped off.
Damn straight.
So, so Giancarlo basically says, he's at Fan Expo in Vancouver, and he was talking about, Mando, Darksaber, everything like that. He says, the prop guys are wondering about me because I was in a bit of a commotion and a bit of a struggle with someone else, which I'm hoping you will enjoy to see it. Major epic lightsaber action happening on this show. And I should mention that I'm the only character in the first season who was able to be honored by having a lightsaber. So basically what I took from this is saying, he's fighting somebody in season 2 with a lightsaber, somebody else in season 2 has a lightsaber.
Yeah, it's like I said. There's really no other way to parse it. Like I said, unless there is the whole vibro blade stuff. I mean,
yeah,
that is established. We had those droids back with Grievous that could block the shit. So
yeah, I mean, and he said that it's not he's not going to be fighting Din or Baby Yoda. Yeah, so it's somebody else. I mean,
yeah, it's like what are they willing to do now with the Mandalorian now that they know that they have everyone by the testicles, right?
I think
because at this point they know it's a smash hit. How can we push the boundaries now? I mean, your shit from last week is still mind-blowing to me. I don't think they're that creative or ballsy to do.
Yeah, but I think it would be.
But are they willing to bring in a known Force user who at this point truly is limited to Luke, Leia, or Ahsoka?
I mean, in my opinion, the way to do this, if you're going to bring in a lightsaber user, is actually going to be, hold on, my cat's right up in my grill right now, but would probably be to explore something that we really haven't seen in Star Wars before outside of TFA, and that is having a non-Force user wielding the blade. And here's kind of my thoughts on this.
So it'd be like an opposite of Maz Kanata, where, you know, she can use the Force, but not necessarily fights with a lightsaber. You're envisioning someone that can fight like a motherfucker with a lightsaber, but can't use the Force.
Yeah. Now, there's establishment of this.
Which Gideon probably is, at least himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably pretty, deft with a blade. And
he's got it.
Yeah, he has it. He can clearly use it in some capacity, at least to just cut himself out of that fucking ship. But in the Darth Bane trilogy novels, and yes, I know these aren't canon anymore, there was an established character in that book who was a Jedi. He was a Jedi, recognized as a Jedi, could not use the Force, but he was one of the best lightsaber combatants in the entire order at that time. So it was established then, I don't know if it has been established anywhere in new canon, that you can be a non-Force user and be really fucking good with a blade lightsaber. We saw Finn do it a little bit in TFA, but in my head, what I think about is the Geonosian battle arena. The Geonosian battle arena is literally littered with dead Jedi lightsabers that were probably never recovered, or they were picked up.
I mean that the whole Geonosian battlefield.
Yeah, like it's just filled with fucking lightsabers. And if the CIS didn't pick them all up to use, which we assume they didn't because we never saw them using them, then that means all anybody has to do is be a scavenger, a smuggler, a bounty hunter. You go to Geonosis and you go to the site of that battle, and you have your fucking pick of the litter for lightsabers. And,
there you go.
And like,
look at Nick's ready to set up a dead Jedi lightsaber flea market on Geonosis at this point.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
like a swap meet. He's like, "Yo, what do you want? What colors you want? I got green. I got blue. That's it.
I got green and blue. That's all I got." Maces. You could find maces at the bottom of fucking Coruscant somewhere.
Right.
But to me, it can't be that hard to come across a lightsaber in that galaxy at that point in time. It's just been so established that you can find them other places. Like this comic book with Luke. Where does he get this yellow one? Does he find it? Does he go to an old Jedi temple?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
hell, we're gonna learn that how someone snagged his out of fucking thin air, basically.
Literally. Yeah,
literally thin air.
So I really do think that it's not beyond this idea that somebody who's not a Force user could have one, because there's so many of them throughout the galaxy, just like dead Jedi in general from Order 66. Like those motherfuckers are around, especially for former Imperials. Like you have to figure that the fucking Emperor was
they probably kept them like trophies.
Yeah, like, hey, look, here's Ayala Secura's lightsaber. She had 2 of them. I got these motherfuckers. Like, they're out there. So, I mean, that's my take on it, is that he's going to fight somebody who just has one. You may say, like, he may ask, like, oh, where'd you get that? And he's like, fucking took it from a dead Jedi. Some some weird shit like that.
Yeah, it's interesting, but there is a very real chance we could also get introduced to a whole new type of Force user, because in the end, what is the main mission in season 2, or what do we think it's going to be? And that is to find
Force
other
users.
Jedi, other Force users. So
yeah,
maybe we do get a new character.
We do. It's very possible. It's very possible that like I mentioned before, we could get a Kyle Katarn, a new Kyle Katarn type character in Mandalorian season 2. And, that would be indicative of Luke Skywalker starting up his, Jedi Academy, or at least finding Force users again and trying to, impart his ways.
They're out there because we're reading The Rise of Kylo Ren, and literally we've met Vo, Hennix, and Ty.
Yeah.
Who were all little kids that Luke found somehow. They're all around Ben's age, so I mean, still far off from the era we're talking about in The Mandalorian, but they're still out there. I mean, that's, again, why I'm bummed out that Rey kind of got fucking worked into, you got to have this Royal Force bloodline stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, whatever. I've got into that rant many times. A lot of people are kind of thinking that way too these days. But you don't. The Skywalkers, the Palpatines, they're not the end all be all of the Force. The Force will, as pretty much all the fucking Jedi have explained, will always find its way.
Yeah, kind of like life finds a way in Jurassic Park. Life.
There you go.
Finds a way.
How about that? We got the title of the third Colin movie.
Yeah, Dominion, Jurassic World, Dominion. Right. I like it. I do like it, but
I still think that shit jumped the shark in the last one.
Oh yeah, that last movie was fucking
I didn't
terrible.
mind the first reboot when they're stuck on the island and it was kind of stuck to those themes.
It was, if you look at it, it was basically like it's kind of how Star Wars went down, because like the first one was basically very, very similar to JP1.
Oh yeah,
and then J.A. Bayona comes in and he's like, I'm gonna put my spin on Jurassic Park. And he does it, and it's completely like people fucking hate. I hated it. I hated that.
Oh, it's bad. It's almost like Jurassic Park 2.
Yeah, I mean,
which is another one with just goofy moments. Like that little girl does gymnastics to take out raptors.
Yeah,
literally, she does her bar routine to take out fucking raptors.
I know. I loved it. It was so dumb. I mean, I liked Jurassic World or Jurassic Park 2 better than I like Jurassic World 2, whatever it was called, Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, even that one kind of brought dinosaurs to the mainland and they get out, but they wrangle them. But here, the premise now is that like, hey, it's on.
Yeah, like, they're out there.
They're starting to literally reclaim the world.
Yeah, like there was a short that Colin put out a while ago, a few months ago, that showed a Carnotaurus and some other dinosaur. Like there were this family, they were camping, they were on a campground. There was like they were in their camping trailer.
Oh yeah, they didn't they see eggs or something?
They did, and then all of a sudden a fucking Carnotaurus shows up in like a, I don't know if it was a Stegosaurus or something else, and they're just fucking fighting and they're destroying all this shit, and it goes crazy. Like everything just becomes a disaster. It was nuts. So yeah, the JW3.
I'll still go see it. That's the beauty of the A-list, right? I mean, I forget which service you're on, but if you've got Unlimited. A movie sub by you, and you can buy in, it is the best money you'll ever spend if you like movies.
Yeah, Regal Unlimited, worth it. We saw Knives Out last weekend. It was good stuff.
It's good, isn't it?
I did, yeah. It was really fun.
Yeah, the guy knows how to write a story. I think.
So. Major Darksaber stuff coming up for season 2 Mando with Moff Gideon.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we know this one's going to be great. It feels like it's so far away, but I promise you, my friends, it'll be here before we know it. It really will.
Yeah.
It will.
So moving on to more new Star Wars, more rumored new Star Wars. There's been a lot of that recently, rumors about new Star Wars. And this one comes, from THR, the Hollywood Reporter, and they're saying that J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens have been, tapped, put on.
Yeah, and if all of you are going, who the fuck are they? Like I was when I saw this, don't feel bad.
Yeah, they're not. I don't want to say they're nobody, but like they're not big names. But these two
they're not mainstream. There's no way.
Yeah, like these two have been tapped for a yet to be announced Star Wars project. It doesn't say if this is a movie or anything, a feature film or what.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, this one was a lot of smoke. So who the fuck knows? I mean, I know these sites run with it as fact, but I'm still kind of treating this as rumor.
Yeah, and so for those of you who are wondering what these guys have done before, the biggest thing that's been done by really either one of them is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So Matt Owens was a writer on...
Right, but that his other credit, which is one that should make you go, uh-oh, is Luke Cage.
Yeah, Luke Cage. I was not a huge fan of Luke Cage. He also wrote a couple of episodes of The Defenders, but that wasn't the actual. Oh no, it was. He did. He wrote a couple.
Yeah,
of episodes.
he did a lot of the Marvel Netflix.
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of Marvel. So he's the writer, and then J.D. Dillard would be the director.
And his thing is Slate, whatever that is.
Yeah.
I guess he got a little recognition for that. That
Not gonna lie,
wasn't on my radar.
I have no idea what it is, but it is about somebody who's like a magician, and they can use magic. So Force a little bit of Force.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I should watch it. I'm not saying I'm like, oh, these guys fuck this shit, but the credentials and the relative. Just the fact that they're unknowns, at least to me, and I'm someone that's fairly tapped into pop culture.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a little like
it's weird.
Are we getting cute again?
Yeah,
it's just to be cute or what?
I mean, they have a little bit less than Ryan had. Ryan had Looper and he had Brick. Those were his two big things. I mean, these guys, Matt has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Luke Cage. But anyway, like the piece that they're attached to is said to be something to do with Exegol. Like, that.
Well, no. That's what these idiots at Deadline or whoever the fuck ran with. And the guy that wrote the Hollywood Reporter piece actually kind of didn't call him out, but clarified it on Twitter. He literally was joking, like making a reference that, all the plot details are hidden somewhere in a bunker on Exegol. And the other yin yang ran with it as it's going to be on Exegol. And the guy's like, no.
It's like, you didn't get my joke.
Yeah, just learn how to fucking read and process, my friend.
It's funny, too, because on IMDb, if you go to Matt Owens' page, literally the credit is listed as Untitled Star Wars / Exegol Project.
Yeah.
And then it says announced. Oh, man. All right. Well, thank you for the clarification there. But yeah, I mean, these guys are, they're young. They have some experience with some big name properties. They've worked clearly, Matt Owens has worked within the Disney sphere. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a Disney property. Luke Cage, Marvel property. So he's familiar with
Yeah, I mean, hey, sure. I guess I look at this shit now as A, it's rumor. B, I don't trust anything Disney or any information about Disney Star Wars movies at this point at all.
Yeah, so
I mean, I really don't think these people know what the fuck they want. They don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, so take it with a grain of salt. We don't know if this is happening or not. The Hollywood Reporter is a pretty reputable outlet,
They hit. I mean, like I said, there's probably some smoke around this, but who knows?
Who knows? Maybe they've just been tasked with like, hey, pitch us something. Like, can come up with something, pitch it to us. If we like it, we'll let you make it. But no solid details on it yet. We don't even know if this is theatrical. We don't know if it's a Disney Plus movie, if it's a TV series or what. But J.D. Dillard and Matt Owens have been attached, to some sort of Star Wars project in the future. So if you're a fan of their work, maybe they'll make a Star Wars thing. Pretty cool. Yeah, man. Our next piece here is actually pretty big for the Disneyverse.
Yeah, this came out of nowhere. Let me get on mic here. Like literally today we're recording. It's Tuesday, 9:43 my time here in the East. With this popped around six my time, something like that.
Yeah,
5,
I mean
6.
you dropped me the Twitter link right before 5 o'clock your time. So
yeah, so someone that has been denigrated a bit on this podcast by yours truly, Mr. Bob Iger, pretty out of the blue type of announcement today regarding his future with Disney as its CEO, and that future is already gone.
Yeah,
he's not the CEO anymore.
There is no future for Bob Iger as CEO.
Yeah,
and
like out of nowhere, the guy literally who's led Disney, as Nick and I were kind of talking earlier. kind of out of the doldrums of the 90s and boring shit into literally becoming the end-all be-all of all entertainment licenses. I mean, under Bob, they bought pretty much everything but Fox News, Sony, Paramount, and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, like they
right. I mean, I think they bought everything. Does Universal still exist? I mean, I'm pretty sure they bought everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, and then just literally out of nowhere, the guy's done, and he's kind of gonna move into a jerk off role.
Yeah. So
until the 2021.
Yeah. So his replacement is Bob Chapek. And now, literally, all of this happened today. Bob Iger has stepped down as CEO of Disney. Bob Chapek is now the CEO of Disney. And Bob Iger will be moving into a chairman position with focus on creative endeavors.
Yeah, which is code word for he's going to keep fucking up Star Wars by providing notes and shit.
Yeah. So as of today, for those of you listening, as of February 25th, Bob Chapek is the CEO of Disney, and he's been with the company 27 years, and he's literally done just about everything you can do at Disney in terms of upper level management. Prior to taking the CEO role, he was the head of the company of Disney's parks division. So he was over all the Disney parks. So he oversaw the building and unveiling of Galaxy's Edge in both Hollywood Studios in Florida and in California. He opened up Disney Shanghai in China. And before that, he actually played a big role in a ton of the other divisions of Disney. So he was over film production. He was over entertainment and consumer goods.
Yeah, I mean, how many years has this guy been here?
27.
Yeah, almost 30 years. So he's definitely been drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. Like Matt and I were saying offline, like usually when a CEO leaves a company, there is like a transition handoff process.
Right. The whole effective immediately stuff is
curious.
Yeah, it's real curious. Even though he's staying on till the end of 2021, so I mean, almost another 2 years, right?
Yeah. So essentially, they're if there was some sort of strife that caused this transition, what they're basically saying is like, okay, Bob, we'll let you have a couple years to hang around, but then after 2021, you're Dunsky, you're out.
What they said is, we don't know what you're doing, if you're touching little kids or whatever, but we can't have you around.
Yes.
You can no longer lead this company. We will not completely fire you because we don't want to get sued for this, that, or the other thing. So yeah, you'll remain in a chairman role as a creative director. Obviously, fucking around. Bob probably wasn't touching kids, but he probably did something somewhat severe.
Something happened, and look, it could be due to Star Wars. It may not be. Like, we all know that he has admitted to bungling.
Well, here's
Solo.
what concerns me, dude. If you read his next big quote, it could almost be his ego.
Yeah.
Because here's what he says. I felt that with the asset base in place and with our strategy essentially deployed, that I should be spending as much time as possible on, basically, the creative side of our businesses.
Yeah. It's definitely ego-driven. You could say that.
But it's still the effective immediately. Like, even if he wanted to go for the next 2 years and kind of fuck off, there's usually as Nick said, a transition period.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, this is happening. Bob Chapek's coming in. Everyone, Bob, how you doing, Bob? Hey, Bob, yeah. Hey, guess what? He's going to be taking over for me in X amount of months. It's been real. Love you all. But for now, we're just going to kind of work in tandem to kind of make this a very smooth handoff. It's very rarely Hey, I've been leading the company. No one knows this. The shareholders probably didn't know this, but today, effective immediately, I am no longer the CEO.
Yeah.
That doesn't fucking happen under normal circumstances.
It's like Bob Iger's been leading Disney for 15 years. Like, you have to realize that. Before them, this is what I was explaining to Matt, like, before Bob, Michael Eisner was running Disney. Michael Eisner did not do a great job as the CEO of Disney. He was heavily focused on television. Like, that's when DCOMs came out. Like, Disney Channel original movies were an initiative by Michael Eisner. They were very focused on their park development, which went really well. But as an entertainment entity, Disney, not much. Like, you know, they did really well with their animated stuff. Their animated movies came back with a fervor in the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, his big move, Eisner, was snagging Pixar, wasn't it?
Like, that was their big thing. Like, he got Pixar, and that was his move. Iger came in and was like, look, we're like, yeah, Disney's doing really well, but I'm going to turn us into an entertainment empire. And he did that. Like, he bought ABC, and they're like, initially, and this is a story I told Matt because one of my coworkers told me this. Initially, Disney's CFO at the time was like, we're not buying ABC. This is fucking stupid. I'll never approve of it. And without the CFO's approval, Bob couldn't do it. And then the CFO died in a helicopter crash, literally in a helicopter crash. And shortly thereafter, that ABC acquisition went through. And from there, they bought ESPN. They bought Marvel.
So what Nick is saying is that Iger essentially had the guy assassinated.
It's very possible. I don't know.
I mean, this guy doesn't fuck around, which just even makes this all the more curious. Like, what the hell did he do?
Yeah.
Is it Me Too shit? Is it some fucking weird shit?
Like, he is...
Or did he just wake up this week and go, you know what? I've made so much fucking money.
Yeah.
I just want to keep fucking up Star Wars, so I'm just going to retire from the whole CEO shit and just be a creative consultant asshole.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But, I mean, I can say this. Bob fucked up Star Wars. He definitely did that. I mean, there's no arguing there. But what he did for Disney overall as an entertainment entity is like one of the biggest fucking like coups in entertainment history. Like, he was able to consolidate.
He almost consolidated all of media.
Yeah, like he was able to buy the three most popular properties and or studios in existence at the time and bring them all under one banner.
It's a little concerning.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever you have media kind of just become these conglomerates, they control entertainment. You know, this is the type of Marvel you get. This is the type of Star Wars you get. You don't like it? Tough shit.
Yeah.
No one else has the fucking license.
So...
this is the type of programming you get.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. As of right now, Bob Chapek is CEO of Disney, so we'll see how the Chapek kind of reign as the head of the House of Mouse goes. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
And it's all concerning because, you know, this guy too, he looks like another probably well-to-do white dude in a suit. You never know if his ego is going to kick in. And trust me, all these dudes, male or female, once you get to this level of business, you are just a natural narcissist, and your ego is huge.
Yeah, so
you have to be. I mean, you have to be to get to this level.
I will say that with Bob Iger's exit from Disney, his contract ends on December 31st, 2021. That would put him out of the chair, out of the House of Mouse before the supposed... You know.
Yeah, but what if he uses all this time to just nuke development of the movies? Because even if he's around to 2021 and we find out this truly is just a, you know, all of a sudden change of heart, I really do just want to mess around with Star Wars and Marvel projects because I think I'm an artist thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be interesting the next couple of years.
But I mean, like where I was going, I lost my train of thought there. But he could still have a mega influence on the 22 film if thing is still real.
100%, definitely. He could have a huge effect.
I feel from that quote, he essentially was telegraphing, yeah, the people I hired fucked up Star Wars, but I'll never admit that. So I'm going to come in and fix the motherfucker.
Yeah, so.
I really think that's what he's doing, dude.
It could be, but we just got to wait and see. We have to see what Chapek does, what Iger does in the next 22 months.
Or, like my friend said, he really could have done some dark fucking shit, and this is just their way of sweeping it under the rug.
You never know.
Without lawsuits from him for contracts, this, that, or the other thing. They're just going to let him ride it out, and this whole creative role is just a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah, you literally never know at this point. It's fucking crazy. But what we do know about now in Star Wars land is the mysterious Project Luminous. This is something that we've been talking about now for a couple months, right, Matt?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is another one where there was some build-up. I believe I at least tweeted it out or shared it on our socials.
Clayton
but,
Sando,
I mean, we knew that this reveal was coming today or yesterday or Monday, whenever the fuck you're listening to this. Or fuck you, I guess just the date, the 24th.
The 24th, yeah, that's when their official reveal came out.
That's Kobe Day. But why do you think they chose a random Monday in February at literally what, by the time they got done tripping over themselves, finally launched it, 10, 11
it was
Eastern
like
time?
11 o'clock, it was 11:20 Eastern time, 10:20 Central, and like everybody had their eyes on Star Wars Twitter starting at like 9 p.m. Central, and we're all like, what the fuck's going on? Like, nothing's happening.
Again, it's like, do they just not fucking care sometimes? Or are they just going, hey, it's Star Wars, the fans will eat it up, even though if it's at 11 o'clock and even our young fans will probably cut all them out because they'll have to be in bed for school, this, that, and the other thing. I don't know the logic here, because I do believe this is a pretty monumentous effort in the Star Wars publishing arena.
Yeah.
Books, comics, kids' books, so on and so forth. But they chose such a random night in February. It's almost like they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, so to kind of bring all of you into the know who don't already know, Project Luminous has been revealed as a massive publishing project that will launch the High Republic era, basically launch the future of Star Wars storytelling from a publishing standpoint. And it was revealed through Star Wars Twitter and Star Wars official on the 24th. I don't know why they bungled it. I will tell you what happened in the bungle is that Random House, who was the publisher for Del Rey books and Star Wars novels in general, accidentally revealed the title and cover of the first novel to be released for Project Luminous, which is entitled Star Wars, The High Republic, Light of the Jedi. It is written by Charles Soule. They accidentally revealed it on their pre-order site, and then a few outlets ran with it. And then it seemed like once that happened, the official release got delayed because they were like, what the fuck do we do now? People already know about it.
It's so dumb. And I feel like it's just a bunch of idiots, like interns and shit, go, well, what do we do? I don't know. What should we do? I don't know. What should we do? I don't know. What should we do?
But yeah, so
until someone's like, hey, dumb fucks, just fucking push the button.
Yeah, and put the
schedule's
tweet out.
Been blown up. I'm sure it's even scheduled in their social media management system, and they just had to been like, oh, fuck it, publish now.
Yeah, it's just, they completely bungled it. But I mean, it does.
It's so dumb.
It seems really cool, though. I mean, aside from the fucked up release, like what's being outlined and described here is really fucking awesome, because it's something akin to the launch of the Old Republic back in old canon. Like, before the Old Republic era was launched, there was no canon for Star Wars outside of the established, this is what's happening with the
Skywalker stuff, basically.
And now we're getting this new...
And this really isn't even Old Republic. This is High Republic.
This is High Republic. This takes place.
I do think that is a clear distinction.
Yes.
That's why they're going. I mean, Old Republic to me is thousands of years.
Yes, Old Republic is literally 3,500 plus years before the Battle of Yavin.
This is a measly
200
200. So our boy Yoda is fucking.
He's still old.
he's fucking old. Yeah,
he's still like 600, 700.
Yeah, he's got to be in his 600s.
Yeah. So, but essentially, what it is we're going to be launching via comic books, novels, young adult books. This whole era.
That's kind of where you lose me a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Matt's like, all of this is written and none of it is visually moving in front of me.
I mean, again, this is just lazy asshole me, but even the interns like, yo man, this stuff sounds pretty great, and my reply was, yeah, a little too much reading for me. But 2 comic series at least.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for me, this actually kind of reinvigorates me for Star Wars novels.
Oh, I bet it's fantastic. I bet it's awesome. And honestly, at least the Soule novel, which is the one geared towards adults and the true kickoff to this High Republic era, which, you know, as Nick's been saying, is going to tie in. It's not really the different mediums are going to continue the story. It's going to build upon, add to, flesh out this, that, and the other thing. But Soule's Light of the Jedi is going to be the official kickoff.
Yeah, and
but I think he described it. He's like, this is essentially the story I've been writing since I was 6 years old.
Yeah, I mean, that's really fucking cool for him. And the way that this whole era came together, this whole High Republic era came together was pretty fascinating. They basically took the all-stars of Star Wars, you know, novelizations and writing, I mean, and put them in a room, and they were like, what do you guys want to do? Like, Claudia Gray, fantastic Star Wars writer. Charles Soule, fantastic Star Wars writer. I believe James Luceno was involved. I don't know if Timothy Zahn was. I don't know. He wasn't interviewed for the piece that they did. But they took these really popular Star Wars writers and let them build their own era, and that's what the High Republic era is, and it's being launched.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way to escape the confines of what's been filmed or shot or planned already.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, outside of Yoda, there are no ties, and you know, maybe he's not even included.
Yeah, I mean, there's no mention of Yoda anywhere in the High Republic kind of materials that have been put out there.
He did pop up in if you watch the trailer they released, there is a concept art shot and you can see Yoda there. It just, you don't know if they're using old Yoda for something else to design this or that, so who knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is viable.
Yeah, he's definitely viable. So I'm really interested to see where this goes. Like I said, this has kind of reinvigorated me in terms of reading Star Wars novels because it's new. It's nothing that we've ever read before, but it's expanding the universe just like the original EU did. Like it's going into new territories. It's introducing new characters, new concepts, new themes, new villains called the Nihil. I mean, Nihil. You did a video on that. I mean, you know, these
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially Darth Nihilus. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to be the connection, but that's their name is Nihil, the Nile. I mean, it's like the Nile River, but not spelled that way.
Yeah. And then apparently the storytelling of this new era begins with something called the Great Disaster. So I'm really excited for it. I'm definitely
do you think that's going to be something the Jedi fuck up or the high, you know, the Galactic Republic?
I don't know, man. I mean,
it's like the Jedi are going to have to go fucking figure out how to piece shit back together after this. Because, I mean, they basically explained that at this point in time, this is the zenith. These are the exact words. The zenith of both the Galactic Republic and the Jedi.
Yeah, like,
and the Jedi Knights we will meet are akin to the Knights of the Round Table. They are true knights.
Yes.
They are out doing knightly shit, and they're also out helping to settle the Outer Rim territory, which at this point in time
is beyond the reach of the Galactic
right. It's
Republic.
like pioneer days in the Outer Rim, and the Jedi are out there almost serving as Texas Walker Ranger, if you will.
Yeah, so I really do think that this is going to, like, the Great Disaster is probably maybe the first, huge act by the Nile. They're coming out as this, organization that's here to sow chaos, and then the Jedi have to respond. But the cool thing is that you don't know, you have no idea what it is. You don't even know what it could be, because none of these characters, none of this timeline has been established. So you can't just point to something and say, oh, well, it's referencing this from the movies, or it's referencing this from the comic book that's related to this time period. It's completely open.
Oh yeah, it is, and that's the fantastic part. The sucky part for people like me, and I know there's more of you out there that are lazy like me, and just, I don't even know if it's laziness. Fuck it. I don't have time to read books. I don't have time to listen to books. I like listening to talk radio, believe it or not. It's not like I do a good job at it myself, but I listen to it every fucking day, be it sports talk or my man Howard Stern. So I can't dedicate to this shit. So that aspect bums me out. The comic book's good. Okay. The Dark Knight, or I forget which one, IDW maybe, that one doesn't look that interesting to me. The Marvel one, definitely I'll jump on. But I mean, Soule's book, I would love to read it. Just looking at the cover art, even if this isn't the real cover art, I'm like, yeah, I could get into this type of shit. Look at them; they really are kind of dressed like knights. They just don't have, coordinated helmets and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it looks.
But
cool.
I don't think there's any way in hell I'm going to read this book.
I will have to bite the Star Wars time bullet for this.
Probably. I mean, the best one I might get out there is the one that they're going to make for little kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about the most I could commit to, because my kid does like reading thanks to my wife. It's not me. I've only probably read a book to her a few times, and yes, I'm a horrible father, but I make up for it with like Legos and shit like that.
What you need to do is get the book and let Heather read it to you and Charlie. Just have her be the...
Yeah, I could probably do it at that point, because then I'd be like, all right, at least I'm hanging out with the family. So.
Yeah, just be like, hey, look, I got this book for the kid, but I'm going to sit in on the reading sessions.
Even that's like, oh, dude. And I know, I know the stories will be great, because, like you were hinting, it's wide open. They are not beholden to anything Skywalker saga or previously established canon.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I know that there's a lot of people that are disappointed that this is a publishing only kind of venture at this time. Let's put that out there. I mean, who knows? Like, we don't know anything that's happening in live action Star Wars feature film, period. So maybe the Project Luminous launch that's happening now is setting up stories that will be told, in feature film.
Yeah, that is the one point they made. They made it very clear that the High Republic era was completely cooked up for the publishing arm of Lucasfilm.
Yes.
It was made for written word. But they did not rule out that, future projects in film, Disney Plus, video games, whatnot, it's not like this era is off limits to those mediums.
Yeah. So we'll see how everything goes, on the publishing front. And who knows, maybe 2 years down the line, I mean, the first book is going to release on August 25th, 2020. That's The Light of the Jedi. Who knows, 2 years down the line, end of 2022, 2023, maybe we see visual content. Maybe we see
it is
pictures.
Odd that they didn't maybe even just start with a game. Like, if you are trying to really launch... And let's be honest, this is their, all right, we got to get away from Skywalker.
Yeah.
We got to start bowing out now. Why not even, like, take a gamble on a game? Like, maybe you hit, like, Knights of the Old Republic, and right there, bam, within 2 years, you got a movie deal, boom, boom, built-in audience, fucking ka-ching!
I'll tell you why they didn't do a game.
No, they go with fucking books and shit.
The reason they didn't do a game is because they don't trust EA to do that. You would essentially be saying, EA, it is now your duty to launch our new era of Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's have a little future planning, and when you see what Respawn's doing with Fallen Order, you just go, oh, you know what, you guys, you're just the new motherfucking
BioWare.
EA Star Wars license. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, we may see something.
You know what I mean, though, because let's be real.
You would have got a bigger audience.
I just built in, because I honestly think there are more Star Wars fans like me than people like the intern or even yourself that are considering diving into these novels or dive into novels. I know. I mean, he's read all the new Thrawn shit, all the comics. I think you've dabbled in the Thrawn shit.
Mm-hmm.
I have not read a Star Wars story in decades. I mean, probably since the prequel era.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I mean, well, I don't think you're right. I know you're right 100%. Like, there are people who will just not fucking care about this shit because it's written and they'll never know the stories. And I think that you're also right that if they would have gone video game route, you would get a huger, huge
And I did. I qualified them like, yo, going game, new IP, it was a gamble. Even Fallen Order was a gamble, but I still find it mind-numbing that they've turned that into a rocket. Like, how could you not be watching the game throughout development and just not go, yeah, that's going to fucking work, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, just use that logic. And yes, you're rolling the dice, but as long as you're staying on top of shit and the writers are, making sure the narrative's being done correctly, you could have had as I said, a KOTOR on your hands where, to this day, people would cut off appendages. Maybe not private parts like I'd give up for a Vader movie, but appendages to see live action, Revan, Malik, Distilla, all that type of shit. So
yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, I feel like for something like this, Disney wanted, or Lucasfilm wanted, direct control over it in a way. Like, yeah, they let these writers, like, cook this shit up themselves, but all these writers...
Well, yeah, it's not like those fucking dolts could figure anything out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Pablo and them got some spots in the video, but really, what did they do?
Yeah, Pablo literally told them, like, he was on there and we're like, we just let them do whatever they wanted. It's like, it seems like that's what the story group is good at.
I wish I was Pablo Hidalgo. That guy has the best job of all time, because he just kind of fucking hangs out and every once in a while writes a visual dictionary.
Yeah. it's pretty sweet.
Apparently he's looked at by the fans as a keeper of lore because he's on the fucking story group.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. Pretty sweet gig for Pablo there.
Oh yeah, I mean he wields some power.
But yeah, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, the announcement trailer for the High Republic stuff, it will be in the post shell for this podcast, so check it out. It's worth it. If you read books occasionally, pick this one up. It's probably going to be a good place to start,
I mean, dude, I don't know. This ain't going to be a light read, at least the Soule one. I mean, maybe the young adult, or I could probably handle the children novel.
Yeah. So the slate that is being released in August is Star Wars, The High Republic. There's 2 comic books. So one of them is High Republic, a test. No, it's not. I think it's called Convergence. There is the young adult novel that's called A Test of Courage. That's written by Justina Ireland. Then you have Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. And then you have Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. I believe that's another, like, standard novel. And then there is a villains-focused comic as well. The
only adult is from Charles.
Okay, so the Into the Dark by Claudia Gray may be the young adult
That's
one.
the young adult.
Yeah,
that's
and then,
the young adult. The Justine is the kid.
Yeah, and then there's...
older is he's the IDW comic.
Yes.
Cavan Scott is the Marvel comic, and then Soule's got the big
big
adult
book
one.
Yeah. So that's all your content coming starting in August of this year. So keep an eye out for it. And that brings us to the end of our standard topics for this week.
Google just fucking blasts our page with ads. It's hilarious.
It does?
That's not me. Like, I don't know how your system handles ads, but, we use Google's new ad code, which essentially is just like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And it literally just fills shit in spaces where it thinks it should go, and there's sometimes a jillion.
Wow, yeah. I have an ad blocker on. For somebody who works in marketing, it's funny to say that, but I do have it.
There you go, yeah.
I have an ad.
For someone running a website, he's blocking the ad. Well, I didn't make my fucking half a milli penny from Nick today.
Millicent, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get on to our top 5 this week. And
that's it. Hell yeah, it is, dude. It's time for that top 5 Star Wars fan arts features of the week. And as we've been doing, I kind of like touching on some of the fan interactions, maybe some fan news. And I'm talking Star Wars time fans. That's right. We've got some fans. Get with it. We're huge. At least 400 downloads, right?
Yeah.
All right, dude. So kind of around the horn this week and some of the interactions. That's kind of creepy. What the hell am I doing here?
That's what. Now you guys know what happens when you send through stuff to Matt on IG.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what I might be wearing or what I might be doing. But anyways, got a nice little note here. Some feedback from actually listening to the show. This is almost like email, I guess, and this comes from Action Figure Snaps with a Z.
Yeah, he was featured in our top 5
Yeah, he's been featured recently by Lord Nick. But this one I think is kind of addressed at me because really within the first 2 words, it's not targeted at Nick, but your rage, so that's what gives it away. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
Your rage on toy photography the last few weeks is my favorite part. So fucking funny. I feel your pain, brother.
There we go.
P.S. Keep killing the podcast game. You got it.
Nice.
All right. We love you. Thank you. Action Figure Snaps. I agree. I'll try to rage out during this segment, and I think I probably will because we are doing a new little wrinkle as we discussed last week, and Nick has picked a shot of mine. A shot I do not know what he has chosen, and I'm going to be kind of presented to it blindly, and I'm just going to riff on it. So I probably will get angry for you. Next up, my buddy here, our buddy Rust Belt Collector. He sent us a story. I mean, it looks like he actually did a little skit at work. I don't know. He's probably listening at work there. We appreciate you wasting your company's time listening to us. But he said, hey, at Star Wars Time Show, I heard you might be hiring in the complaint management area. I have a good deal of experience. Hit me up. And it shows him with a video shredding something that says complaint, kind of giving a nod to a famous TV series. So
nice.
That was always fun. You can always count on Greg getting a mention. I mean, he's already been discussed early in the show. I mean, Greg is always on our minds. But I have to highlight fucking behind the scenes this motherfucking nut took. I don't know if you saw this one, Nick. I mean, he posted a static and a video. No, I'm looking at the picture now. I probably should have sent it to you because it would have been better for radio, but we're stupid. But he's literally outside wearing a Sir Dork t-shirt with a Stormtrooper helmet on, with sparklers attached to the front of his camera.
I'm looking at this now.
with an open flame shooting WD-40 into it.
Yeah. Greg.
This is all. I mean, dude, this is the greatest picture of all time. I have to put this in the video version of the podcast.
Oh man, Greg is safety first. Greg, safety first, my friend.
Oh my God. I mean, it is so Star Wars Black Series 2019. I mean, this is Greg Bird for you. This is perfect Greg Bird.
We don't need the first death on our hands for somebody trying to make the Star Wars Time top 5.
Yeah, to get the behind the scenes shot. I mean, to me as a photographer, having live sparklers taped to the camera lens, that is just fucking amazing.
Oh yeah. It's Absolutely.
I love it. I absolutely I had to mention that, and again, buddy, we feel bad for you on that breakout. That blows.
Yeah, sorry, man.
But just fantastic, man. I mean, please don't kill yourself, like Nick said.
Yeah, don't blow yourself
but
up.
it is good for a laugh, and I am definitely paying attention.
Nice.
So a few other notes before we actually get into the top 5 here. The stuff with Exclu, I've been mentioning Exclu magazine again. Just been talking to Jack. They've kind of rebranded from Exclu Collective into Exclu magazine. They're kind of branching out to a lot more pop culture stuff. So that's kind of where we come in our partnership with them. And they're going to be sharing a lot more of our content. We're actually going to have a feature in their mega issue. I don't know if it's issue 100 or something like that, but Jack asked me to participate in that and just kind of do a little article there to, incorporate Star Wars time more with Exclu magazine. But, we're going to try to hopefully do a little more synergy between himself, Star Wars time. It looks like the toy photo cast from Dagobah Customs is up in that. So just wanted to make that, drop some updates on that deal. We've been working with some people in upcoming interviews, so if you're interested, you know where to get us on the DM. We're trying to work on everything Kylo, but Homeboy does not have a mic of any sort, so we kind of stopped at that, Nick. I don't know if you saw those DMs. No, you tasked me with it, so I took it on personally, but that's where we're at. That was kind of a wall. I was like, okay, well.
Jesse hit me up on the personal IG, and I told him we could make it happen, but we can make it happen under the right circumstance. I will say this, buddy. Go pick up a $20 mic from Walmart.
I mean, worst comes to worst, if he has a smartphone or something, I guess we could do the Skype deal, but quality wise wouldn't be.
If sometimes those
ideal
may want to test it just with some iPhone headphones. Sometimes those don't sound all that bad.
Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so if that's something that you could try out, Jesse, if you're listening.
But yeah, I mean, there's other people we're hoping to get Rebel Jawa on, someone that has participated in a few actual official Disney deals because of toy photography. I've got my stunt buddy somewhat guilted into potentially doing this.
There we go.
He's big time, but I can get him on, and I'm sure he can say some inflammatory shit to either get me all fired up or at least get some of you listeners fired up, because he's definitely in the fandom menace. There's no doubt about it.
There we go. So some things.
And also, I got another little. It looks like, and I hate to call these people this proteges, but they do come and ask me stuff on Haywood Pop, and there's a new one here. Galactic Photo Guy has been hitting me up for some tips, and I believe he's a young one there. So
that's awesome. See, look at that.
Yeah, I again, like I said, it's always surprising to me that people want to ask me for tips, but hey. I'm happy to give them, and maybe some of my tips will one day lead to you getting into the top 5 segment, which my man right here curates after I slave away throughout the week looking through all the shots that you motherfuckers are now hashtagging Star Wars Time Show, as well as tagging the account Star Wars Time Show at Star Wars Time Show, and we appreciate it. Trust me, my mornings now requiring me to get up even earlier so I can get on with my real life while dealing with all the beautiful fan art you are submitting. So anyways, I throw them up there. Nick spends, a few minutes. He swipes up and down, does kind of like a lottery, closes his eyes, and then taps on 5 pictures, and then we get the top 5. I mean, honestly, he takes his time. You know how serious this is. We have people out there that are literally chomping at the bit to know when or what they can do to get themselves featured. I'm talking to you, Barron's Black Series.
I know.
We hear you. We've been following the little breadcrumbs you've been leaving about this shoot you have planned. So hopefully it will. First, obviously you got to get past the gatekeeper. That's me. But the real person you have to impress is Nick. So here he is with this week's top 5.
Yes, this week's top 5. And I will say, so this week, our little wrinkle, like Matt mentioned, is a breakdown of a Haywood Pop shot. Last week, our wrinkle was an honorable mention. So that's going to be kind of how we rotate the top 5 editions week over week. So next week, the honorable mention will be back. But this week, our top 5, I kind of had a feel to me this week. And, I often don't get like themes within my top 5 other than most of them, 99.5% of them.
He had a feeling. He had a funny feeling somewhere.
Yeah. And, 99.5% of my top 5s will always have some sort of trooper in there. Stormtrooper, clone trooper, one of those kind of, first order trooper types of characters. But this week I had like something was speaking to me about portraits. And a lot of those made it in the top 5. So to kick things off, I went with my standard 99.5% of the time theme, and that is a trooper, egg attack trooper shot from JOZ 303.
Dude, I believe this is a brand new find for myself. I think it's someone that just found the show or the hashtag movement. So it's impressive that... And I think I shared this shot yesterday, literally, the day of your choosing.
Yeah. So I like Mondays.
Hey, J-Oz, if you're listening, I mean, you should almost maybe get down and bow to Nick.
I think
to get this type of treatment.
It's lucky to make it on there for your first time for sure. This guy, I believe, on the top 5 post that I put out there, Cryo Photography, our new buddy from IG says that JOZ is his bud, one of his friends. So
all right, so no, yeah, Cryo's been kind of going out. He's almost like a talent scout now,
an evangelist, spreading the good
word. It's almost. I think he's gotten shooed away from people too, or blocked from doing it. Because he's like, hey man, I like these guys, this podcast, Star Wars. You should listen to the show, and hey, if you like. They'd probably like this art, and he tags us or like drops the hashtag, and I'll see it that way. But yeah, look at this. Hey, it pays off to pay. The more the more people on IG in the toy photography community. You never know. You can reach these heights as quick as that.
Yeah.
Look at J-Oz. Like literally, I can't believe this. I mean, got discovered, shared, and put in the top 5 probably all within the same day.
It's fucking crazy. I mean, and he's
That's a new record. It has to be a new record.
Another Australian too, Jamie Hank.
Oh, that's poor Nick is just kicking Greg while he's down at this point.
I feel bad now. I didn't know.
It's a good thing Spencer's not Australian.
Man,
I really think he would go catch his hat on fire.
But I mean, this shot from J-Oz is actually pretty cool. I really do like these egg attack figures, specifically the Stormtrooper variants of those. And what he has here is it's a Stormtrooper leading a dewback to water. And I really like, first off, what I think is really cool is the environment that he picked for this shot. It's a really awesome just spot, the water, the beach, the rocks.
This to me is a completely naturally lit setup shot. I mean, this is how I started.
Yeah.
And I miss it. I wish I could get back to just not caring about all the other bullshit I do now. Rolling out with some figures, my gear, and just setting them up in nature and seeing what it gives me.
Yeah. And what nature gave J-Oz here was a pretty fucking awesome shot. He even has some weathering on the figure. I don't know if that's intentional weathering or if that's just like, the weathering that happened from being outside that day. But overall, I really do like the aesthetic of this shot. I really like the way that the figures are posed, and just I think it's different. It's something that we haven't really seen before. Kind of the naturalistic side of Star Wars. So I credit J-Oz for that. So well done.
It's good stuff. But again, because you got this honor so soon. Now it's time to start stroking our ego, right? So story shares, tell us how great we are. Tell Nick how awesome he is for picking you so soon. So come on.
There we go.
Come on. Let's go. This is a two-way street.
At JOZ 303 on Instagram.
Good job, sir. In all seriousness, it really is. I love the organic feel to this one.
Yeah, that's what really kind of attracted me to it. So at JOZ303 on Instagram. Next up is another new top fiver, and this is at Paramore MCR88. And this is the start of a run of 3 portraits that I have up here. And this is just a straight up portrait of Scavenger Rey. And what really...
Yeah, I'm starting to wish I had this. This is a Hot Toys, by the way. It's a big one, like the Barbies.
Yeah.
This really is. I think this one, and then there's an Island Journey Rey, like the end of TFA outfit.
Yeah.
I'm kind of regretting I don't have those at this scale.
I mean, this...
Because they are good-looking figures.
Yeah, this figure here is... I mean, the figure's great, but 2, like the lighting effects done by Paramore, and then just I don't know if that was done in post or if that's actually like a ring light on her, like in her iris.
No, I was gonna say it looks like he's using a ring light.
Yeah, like just the detail that he was able to capture in this figure's face, and
it is those eyes. They become very captivating because of that reflection.
Yeah. And that's what really drew me to this. I was scrolling through the feed and I saw this figure. I was like, man, are those eyes like real? Like, are those?
Yeah, it provides a level of realness that's almost creepy.
Yeah, it's like almost uncanny valley. Like if you know anything about animation or like digital figures or even like robotics, the uncanny valley is like this point in realistic human recreation where it's like, it's so real that it is creepy. Like that is kind of what it is. And you're not at quite uncanny valley with this figure, but it looks so good. And it's just the way that Paramore was able to capture the essence of Rey with this, the lighting done in the eyes and on the reflection, the red light reflection on the face. Just overall, and like her lips, are her lips really that color, or is that something that he did to the figure?
He might have deepened them a little bit with a burn here or there and dodged her teeth to make them pop a bit. But I don't think there's a ton of post-processing done on that sculpt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just overall just a well-done portrait shot here by Paramore MCR88. So give that person a follow on Instagram. Beautiful work there. Next up, another portrait, except of the other side of the Age of Resistance trilogy, the dark side of the Age of Resistance trilogy. The other member of the dyad. This is...
You forget all about dyads in the Force
already.
Dude. We knew about that all along.
I know. We've known about that since 77.
Common shit. It's the same. It's up there with the Chosen One legend.
You're right. That is my fault. I will scold myself after this podcast. But we have a great photograph here of Kylo Ren wielding his lightsaber. This is by Adam .figureframe on Instagram. And again, it's just like, it's a pretty straight up portrait of TFA Kylo, right? Or is this, TFA Kylo?
That's definitely TFA Kylo.
Yeah, it's not TROS.
He's got the raggedy ass hood.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, like sometimes just a simple portrait, shot with a good soft goods cloak and then really good post-processing effects on the lightsaber is what really makes this one kind of pop out on the feed.
I was going to say, to me, and I guess I'll kind of sell myself out here, but a reason you don't see me do a ton of Kylo shots is because I fucking hate trying to create his lightsaber. It is a fucking nightmare. There's no easy way to do it. You got to use brushes and do this and that and this and that and this and that and layer that and this. It's just like, by the time I'm done reading the circle jerk of directions, I'm like, fuck off, I don't care. So that's 100. I mean, I love the character. He makes a good figure. He makes a good subject, as we can see from Figure Frames portrait here. But I specifically avoid shooting him, especially with his lightsaber out, because I suck at post-processing.
Yeah. Adam Figure Frame does not. So, I mean, this is an excellent shot here.
Yes.
That really makes it sing. So, at adam.figureframe on Instagram. Beautiful job. Next up is actually not a toy photograph at all. This is an original piece of work by Riyad Kassim. on Instagram, RIYAHD_CASSIEM.
This thing is fucking filthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ZBrush creation, so it's a piece of 3D art that he made himself, and to me, it's actually a combination of a few different familiar Star Wars themes. So first off, you have the Darth Vader mask that takes up about 3/4 of the figure's face. But the wrinkle on it is that it's a lot more, man, it's hard to describe. Like
it's organic. It's almost like the plastic or the cybernetic pieces are grafted into Anakin's skin versus being a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. And the eye, like the actual eye of the helmet is more pronounced, and it's got like a blue light in it, which is really
I don't know,
cool.
Nick, did you dive into his account a bit and kind of scroll back to when he was riffing on this concept? Because he does have different versions of his Vader concept.
I do see a few different
you
ones.
see how he is, like, he's very he's almost like the Terminators in Terminator Genesis. The far future ones, or even the most recent one where they're almost like nano.
Yeah, nanotech.
They're made out of nanobots and shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this Vader's like. He almost looks like a statue at times, but to me it's like that nano structure building itself out into his appendages and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. And
yeah, he has a whole bunch of riffs on Vader that are just fucking far out. But the one, I picked and then you featured here is definitely like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty.
That's pretty interesting.
Pretty fucking sick. And
it's almost like Sub-Zero Vader Anakin, right?
Yeah. And one other thing that I wanted to bring up is if you've ever played the Star Wars: The Old Republic video game, MMO, PC game, there was a character in that his name was Arkin, and he was the son of the Lost Emperor in the unknown regions at that time. The guy's name was, oh God, it slips my, Valkorion, Emperor Valkorion's son, Arkin. And one of his key features is that there was a mask that he used to wear that was blown up. Like he was, like an explosion went off around him, and the mask was halfway grafted to his face. So this concept of Vader here reminds me a lot of Arkin from...
Well, hell, I mean, it's also kind of what was going to happen to Kylo in Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, very similar.
Where, I mean, he was almost going to have shit grafted into him / helmet pieces.
Yeah. So here, Matt, I'll slack you an image of this from the Star Wars fandom wiki. But that featured image of Arkin, like, really reminds me of this piece here done by Riyadh Qassim.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, just overall, really fucking cool concept, really just amazing execution. This is another person that should probably be working for Lucasfilm, with the level of detail and the level of creativity that he was able to put into this piece of art. So at RIYAHD_CASSIEM on Instagram. Beautiful piece of work here.
Oh, man, there's he has a red version too down there.
Yeah, he does. I saw that when I scrolled down.
Red and blue.
So, yeah, beautiful job. Next up on the top 5, that was the end of our portraits. So the final entry of the top 5 this week is actually from Fett Ventures, FETT_Ventures on Instagram. And it's another really cool concept piece where you have the Emperor standing there next to his throne and he
uses Homeboy's line from TROS.
Yeah.
Where like literally it's
Beaumont Kin. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very brief line, but it's all they do to describe how Palpatine's back.
Yeah.
Dark science, cloning, secrets only the Sith knew.
Yeah.
So
what we see is
oh my God.
Darth Sidious, aka Emperor Palpatine, standing in his throne room, and he has a Sith holocron there that he's activated, and the essence of Darth Revan has come from.
I love that.
Yeah,
that effect is badass.
That's what really drew me to this shot, is this effect that Fett Ventures was able to put on this Darth Revan piece, and really make it look like a fucking ghost coming out of this holocron.
Oh, it's great. And mind you, these are the little guys, dude. These are the 3 3/4 inch.
Wow.
So
wow.
These are I'd say a step up in articulation from a Funko Pop, which has 0.
Yeah. I mean,
these you can pretty much bend their fucking elbow joints and maybe their hips.
So even more impressive to know that Fett Ventures was able to pull off this level of sophistication in this shot with these, 3.75 inches. So, I mean, it's really, really cool concept.
Also, it looks like there's some mixed scale going in there because those space walls look like they're meant for 112, and I'm pretty sure that's the Snoke throne from the
from the TLJ
6-inch Snoke set.
Yeah. So, I just thought that this was a really cool concept, and it's well executed by Fett Ventures. So, at FETT_Ventures VENTURES on Instagram. So, beautiful job, and that brings us to the Haywood pop shot breakdown.
I still haven't seen it. Is it time? Should I scroll up?
You should scroll up. It's time for you to give us a breakdown of this shot. This is a fun shot. I thought this was a fun shot.
Oh my god, yeah. All right, so the one Nick picked, obviously you'll see it if you're looking at the YouTube version here. It's a shot. It's kind of a derpy shot. But I've got the Figure Arts Anakin from Revenge of the Sith. So if you bought that, you know that the face sculpts are a little far out. And the one I have is the one where it looks like he's trying to clear his sphincter of severe constipation. So I've got him doing that. In the pose, he's got his arms bent up like he's going, like yelling. And, then behind him, I've got his buddy Obi-Wan, again, the Figure Arts Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith, both of these guys. And he's got his iconic, 2-finger peace symbol saber stance. So I've got that behind Anakin, essentially giving him rabbit ears. And my caption initially was "silly shot for a really silly face sculpt," and it was. It's kind of a dumb shot. This is a shot that I considered throwing away. Pretty much every shot that I whittle down and put into my processing folder, at one point I look at and I go, "Why do you even do this hobby, you asshole? Why not? Look at this thing. It just looks stupid." The pose is stupid. The lighting's off. Anakin's face is blown out with, the highlights. But, I'm still also someone that's like, well, if you took the time to do the shoot, whittle down the shots, you decided to keep it, you were going to process it, you started to process it, you might as well just fucking run with it. So, I kind of, this one I can tell you I did doctor up. I used some fake ass smoke there. That's like post-processing.
Okay,
smoke,
I was going to ask about that, yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I prefer to do these days. I'd rather, kill the environment with my atmosphere aerosol, or use fireworks, or these days I might look into that thing. If those of you that listen to my interview with Work More or Less, he was talking about this cosplay smoke system that's portable. You can take it outside, inside. It uses some science to get you some really thick fog. But I kind of prefer that. But anyways, I cheated there because this shot, Nick, it was just so basic. I mean, I had no thrown sand in it. It was literally, I threw this up. I remember the day. It was, here's the best part. When did I actually post this?
October 9th.
Yeah, okay. 16th. So I posted this October 2019. I took it May of 2019.
Were you on a beach?
Yeah, okay. I was at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware for a little break we like to do now that my kid's a little older. I used to go there when I was a little kid. I love it. It's great for children. They got boardwalks, all this fun shit. But yeah, I always try to bring some figures when I go to the beach because you never know what type of scenery you could get. So I got some time, and literally just in front of my tower, we're throwing these assholes up there. And As we've discussed, unlike the pros out there, those that produce some amazing looking scenes, I never have a plan ever. I just fucking throw figures in a bag, roll down, and if it moves me, I'm like, all right, what can I do? And that's probably why some of my shots suck. And that's the story of this one. So it's typical Haywood Pop. It's months and months and months old before it got released. It's nothing too special. Anyone with two fingers that work could have set this shot up. And anyone that knows how to focus the camera could have taken this shot.
Well, there it is. The humble breakdown from Matt Haywood himself. But
Is that kind of how we want this segment to
no,
go?
yeah, I like it. I like how you kind of gave the story behind the shot and everything like that. I think it's super helpful, and I'm sure that there are people out there who may have more questions.
I'll give you even more insights. When I first released this, I was expecting it to die a quick death like most of my shots do. But for the time, this is, and I guess I should also include kind of key Nick into recent IG developments, but Haywood Pop's back in jail.
Oh.
Yeah, I was probably getting a little too cocky. I was starting to act like you normal people and embrace positive thinking. But the moment I fucking did it, I'm right back in I'm on the outs with IG Algo. It's very clear. Recent shots are lucky to get into the 200s, good or bad. So. But back to this. When I released this, that I was definitely in the doldrums of Shitsville. Never getting anything. Like if I did not release a shot during a Toy Pop session, it was getting maybe 110 likes. So this shot released during a non-Toy Pop session did 379. So it actually went over well with the followers that could see it. Once again, proving that I have no fucking clue what people want to see on my page, and I just keep fucking my shit up, which is why I'm probably back in IG algo hell at this point in time.
We'll get you back out of there, guys.
It was nice. It was probably the best 6 weeks I've ever had on the platform.
1,500 like shot there too.
You're right. I had 3,000 liker plusers. I added almost 1,000 new followers in about 4 or 5 weeks.
That's awesome.
But now it's funny how literally they can just pull that fucking rug right out from you.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you did. It's like, okay, was it because I kept tagging your 20 people limit? Were motherfuckers blocking me, reporting me for tagging and not just saying, hey, stop? I don't know. So
yeah,
I'm right back to having pretty much zero confidence and considering if I should ever do this again.
We'll get it back. We'll get it back out there. For those of you listening, Matt is currently at 4,993 followers on Instagram. Let's bump it to 5K.
Oh yeah, all this was just recent too. This was a huge push because I remember I hit $4,000 before the year rolled. But I had to beg and plead, like big accounts, like, hey, can you guys like maybe push something out in your story? I mean, like that type of scumbag.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, just something finally happened. It was like my account got out of jail. My shots were getting more reach. Some were showing up in Explore. I was really adding a fan base that liked what I was doing, not just all my old Funko Pop people, this, that, and the other thing. And then this week, towards the end of last week, I could start to feel it within the force. There was a disturbance. And now, just like Palpatine kind of pulled the wool over Yoda and them, I'm fucked all over again. So
we'll get it back. Get them to 5K.
But the reason I brought that up only is because this shot did kind of pop when IG really fucking hated me. So you never know. There's a lesson for you people. If you're like me and you fucking hate yourself mostly and you think you suck at this type of shit, like being creative. Yeah, maybe other people don't think you suck. So
it's true. It's very true.
Still share it and prepare for the disappointment, but maybe you'll get surprised.
All right. Well, there we go. And that brings us to the end of our top 5.
Yeah, so I mean that was fun, and we're not always going to do the Haywood Pop thing because it's probably just going to be too depressing for myself. Because right now, I mean, after a record-breaking podcast yet again, I was already starting to feel a little woozy. But, after talking about my Haywood Pop life and my shot, I'm just getting kind of sad. So we're not going to do this all the time, but, Nick will be throwing in honorable mentions here or there just to liven things up. So it no longer is just the top 5. It's the top 5 plus 1. You just don't know what plus 1 you're going to get. Are you going to get the whiny, mopey guy? Or are we going to honor yet another toy photographer? All right, well, as Nick said, top 5 is over, so it's time to do the Star Wars Time Show dance, and that dance entails getting over to StarWarsTime.net, where you can check out our other type of content, the videos I put out there that no one seems to give a shit about, and that I should just get the message on and quit doing them. But if you're new, you can also find all of our subscription links to whatever podcast platform you want. I'm telling you, we got Pandora, iHeart, iTunes, Google, Android, Stitcher, TuneIn. Do I need to list any more? No, thank you. All right, StarWarsTime.net. Just hit it up. Get keyed in to the Star Wars Time Show. Be it if you're a longtime fan or a new fan. Subscribe, right? You don't want to miss it. Don't rely on us dropping stuff on IG. Subscribe. Notify yourself for alerts for new content on YouTube, on your podcast platforms, because you need the Star Wars Time Show in your life as soon as a fresh episode releases. There's always time for Star Wars time. Don't forget that. You need it. You want it. To get more of it, you must subscribe, rate, like, review, comment, share, and pass along. All right, people, it's been real. It's always fun talking Star Wars with you all. Please hit us up on IG. You know where to find us. We'll mix you into this new segment that is currently and will forever be evolving, and that's because we love you. We really do this shit for all you knuckleheads on the IG, on the other socials that interact. Because if you listen to the Star Wars Time Show, you all know this, the fans do, but the new ones might not. If you listen to the Star Wars Time Show, the Force will be with you, always.